What is good, chat? It's Wednesday. I've got Siniviere with me after she played 3 hours of BioShock and then tried to eat some food, and she got here just in time. Can't hear you, so maybe it could be me. Is it you?
No, it was me.
Okay.
Typical Cindy fashion. I burned the crap out of my mouth.
Did you really?
Yeah, I was rushing to eat, and it was so hot, and I was like, no, this is good. We got this. And then yeah.
Oh, please don't burn your mouth for me. Like, not in, that's, okay. No, not with food? Weird. It's getting weird. I'll leave it. I'll leave it.
I tried turning on my chat for YouTube, and like I forgot that I didn't mute it, so it was like blasted in my ears, so I couldn't hear you.
Okay. Well, welcome, Cindy. I'm glad you managed to make it, even though you are like, you have been like a streaming legend the last few weeks. So appreciate you being here.
Oh, thank you for the invite. I always have so much fun with you.
Aw. And me too, of course. Let's bring in the Doolies. Welcome, Doolies.
What's up?
Doolies?
What's up, guys?
Hi.
What's up, Doolies?
Just trying to survive.
I appreciate your Righteous Gemstone recommendation. I've been watching it, so it's good. It's good. I like it so far. Lots of dongs. No shortage of dongs. Flaccid dongs, cut dongs, uncut dongs. It's full of dongs.
Yep.
But and some boobs.
A little bit.
Yeah, the ratio is wrong. The ratio is bad, but yeah, a lot more dongs and boobs.
The ratio is way, way, way off. I got Leon is ready to go. Leon, come on in. Welcome, Leon.
How you doing, you beautiful bastards?
What's
Also,
good,
Andy?
Leon? This is the time we'll move Andy over. No,
I like Andy. Andy's cool.
we love Andy, actually.
Because usually Katie's the snapbeard dresser, so I judge which one I like better based on who dresses better. And right
Let's take a
now,
look.
Katie looks kind of like she's ready to like sing a grunge song and then have like a wife killer or something.
Katie's trying to breathe, okay? Like,
Kate
I'm
Cobain.
cold.
That's
I'm
who you are. You're
sick.
Kate Cobain.
Oh, you're sick? Oh,
Yeah.
She's been
Aw.
rocking that 3-6 Mafia. She got that dust bunny nose. You know.
I have a virus at
What
the
you been
moment,
drinking, Katie?
so-
Yeah.
well, I am sorry to hear that. Well, thank you for being here, anyways, and welcome, Andy. Last but certainly not least, we got our special guest, Kamran Pasha, is in the house. What's up, Cameron?
Hey, good to see you guys. And as always, Zach's always fulfilled because the only channel I know there's always lovely ladies on. Some of them are with their guys, but that's okay. But it's just I like to have lovely ladies on because it's all these YouTubers are usually just schlong fest, and there's a nice feminizing, positive energy that comes with having lovely ladies. So Siniviere, Katie, thank you for bringing positive vibe to us.
I'm
Always.
just so excited to get to stream my favorite Muslim, Katie.
Oh my God. You're never going to forget that story, are you?
So I'm not the favorite. I'm not the favorite Muslim. Okay.
She's not actually Muslim. It's an inside joke. So you are
Okay,
Muslim.
but I guess I get that as the number two. I guess I get the default. You know, when Miss America can no longer continue her reign, somebody has to be given the crown. So I guess it worked that way.
That's how it goes. Let's say hello to the chat. We got lots of people here, and then we'll get into the show. And spoiler alert, Cameron, Leon has read your script, but I'll get his feedback in a second.
If you don't like,
What?
but that's the rule here, okay? You know, if you don't like it, there's no feedback necessary.
I've got
pretty
a
much
couple small criticisms, but I did like it. Yes.
Already, I don't know about those couple of small criticisms.
It's gonna be fun.
Well, fine. Let's leave it to the end. Let's keep going to other stuff.
All right, we'll go. I want to talk about your article about on your Patreon. I'll pull that up after this, but just to forewarn you about Gina with the discovery and help me walk people through that if you don't mind, Cameron. Ryu's in the house. What's up, Ryu? I got it up here for you. And Leon has already come through with 5 gifted memberships. Leon, appreciate you. Thank you, dude. I appreciate.
Least I could do for my homie.
It comes with the rock star hair, man. 80s rock star hair, man. He's got it going.
He is the rock star. Thank you, Leon, dude. Appreciate you. You didn't have to do it, but you did, and it means the world. I can't do the world like you can. I can't do it. I tried.
Just do my best to do a Bugs Bunny impression. Wild.
I'm gonna give you a very special new clip. This is like the world's greatest magician / ventriloquist you've ever seen. So if you've never seen this guy before, buckle up. This is special.
Myself nor Hondo appreciated that. Neither one of us liked that. Where'd the bird go?
Who can
It was
say?
magic.
Into the
You
ether,
okay with
right?
this?
That's
Abuse?
certainly an interesting trick. It's required. I never thought of anyone actually putting that out there, but God bless them.
It's
It requires a lot of courage. It requires courage as a magician to do that.
Back in the day, he would have been considered a witch.
Yep.
He's also a reverend, and a racist. I found out since then. So,
Whatever.
yeah.
Oh.
Threat.
Everybody's able to racist nowadays. What can you do?
So he was charged with it this time. So,
Oh,
but
okay.
we'll leave that for Saturday.
Charged
but
what? Is he Canadian? You can't be charged for being a racist in America unless you do something actually act on that. Was he Canadian?
Oh no, he's American. He's American.
Okay, so he did something bad as long as having annoying opinions. Okay.
It involves distributing swastikas and and he had a KKK outfit on.
Yeah, but again, isn't that
not
free speech?
illegal.
That's not illegal. Why would that's free speech? You don't have to like it.
War on business. in
You
this
had to
country.
do something that's actually not. Maybe it'll be legal by the end of the year, but but it's not illegal now as far as I.
War on
And maybe he's
business.
just a history buff and he's selling his wares.
Oh, that could be. Yeah, I mean that's true. Yes,
Whatever.
but his
We'll move on
magic,
from that character. We'll move on from Mr. Canary. Okay.
his magic skills speak for themselves. What's up, your Barmy? Cameron Pasha, how much for a hot tub stream tonight? Wow.
Well, I mean,
What?
I don't know anybody wants to see me in a hot tub. I've been in hot tubs. I don't even like looking myself in hot tubs. So I don't know why we don't see that.
But you're in Hollywood, so can we confirm if you do or do not have a hot tub, Cameron?
I do not have a hot tub. I've been in Hollywood hot tubs. And, I will say that there was one director I worked with. I won't name him, but he was a very famous director. You'll know his name. Worked with him. And the way I described him after working with him to my lawyer who knew him well, right? I said to him, this guy is very much that dude in the 70s hot tub who hasn't figured out the world's changed. Like he's that guy who's like with the hot chicks at the Playboy Mansion in the grotto. And he hasn't figured out that it's not that world anymore. He's still living like that.
Those were the good old days, though, right? No? It sounded fun. It looks fun on TV. I've been watching The Offer, which is the making of the Godfather film. It's wild. Like things back then were like kind of it looked like a lot of fun. There was some mafia involvement. But it's a much better show. Nobody watched it, but it's worth checking out. But yeah, we got Jacob here. What's up, Jacob? So Jacob, I need to get his GoFundMe. If a mod wouldn't mind finding it and putting it in the chat, he has a GoFundMe going. He has a lot happening with his family and himself and his health, and he's got to move. It's all bad all at once. And Jacob is a very solid member of the community, and we got to try to support him. And I would like to do I want to do a clam jam for him, but I don't know when yet. So I will announce that when I know a bit more. That should be fun, and he would never ask for help unless he actually really needed it. So please, if you're a mod, please grab that link. Siniviere's Fish. What's up? Hi, Faffy again. We got Siniviere Stalker.
Okay, that's not good.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
No, that's not a good thing.
Don't worry, Katie. You'll have one of your own stalkers these days. I believe in you.
I'm good. I'm good.
If you keep working at it, Katie, eventually you're gonna have your own stalkers. That's gonna be great. And if you want stalkers, come see her in Vegas.
I will be in Vegas.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. At the meetup next week. Leon's gonna be there.
What's going on in Vegas? Is there an event? What's happening?
It's Nerdrotics meetup is on the 17th, and so a bunch of people are flying down there, or we are, I guess, converging upon Vegas for that. And I'm there for a few days, bringing my wife with me, so that should be good. And hopefully I don't get divorced by the end of it. I'm looking forward to meeting
married
everyone.
people are boring in Vegas. Married people are just boring. They bring the married vibe to Vegas. They don't do anything. They just talk.
That's fine. It's fine. I can't wait to meet people though. So people in the chat might be there. People on the panel will definitely be there. It's gonna be a good time. Cameron, yes, I apologize for that, Cameron. I don't know what happened there with that link, but I'm glad we got it.
Yeah, no, I saw what it was. It was wherever you copied from had some extra letters on it that just came from the copying process. And when I pressed that, it wouldn't let me link in. So I don't know how that sometimes happens when you cut and paste. It adds some weird stuff to it.
Well, I'm glad we caught it. We got Hyperolic Ninja in the house. We got Cincha Dildo. Good to see you, Dildo. Always have to have a dildo in the chat. Shippy, what's up, Shippy? The big ship. I'm playing this for Shippy. This is his one of his favorite clips. It's fun. Welcome, dude. Appreciate you being here. He's a co-host on Saturday. Oh man! Come on! Beat his ass! Beat his ass! Oh!
Shout out to Kada.
That was Kada, who will also be in Vegas. So, and Cajun Corey, thanks, dude. Good to see you. I think you actually, you did. Thank you. Gifted one Zach's membership. I appreciate that, Cajun Corey. I will get. This is a demonstration on how not to use a shotgun.
Or how to use one. Sometimes we don't want those teeth.
Right. You know what? Dental bills. Who needs that, right?
Yeah, teeth are overrated.
I just went to the dentist today. So did it work? It looks pretty. I think they look good. I think they look.
Oh
good.
yeah.
Oh, hold on.
Sparkly.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Let's show what. They look great. They look great.
They look good. Yeah, I have a really good dentist out here in Santa Monica.
Your dental plan is paying off. It's working.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nadia. I will get back to you. We got Bimo in the chat. What's up, Bimo? Good to see you, Bimo's art. Nadia, what's good, folks? Well, you are good. You're good and naughty occasionally, like Dildo points out. Good to see you.
It's one of the best things about her.
I thought she might be on today. I guess she can't join us.
She's always welcome to join us, but she's been streaming a lot this weekend. She was sick previously, so
okay, well, feel better. Yeah.
If you want to come on, Nadia, though, I'd love to have you. No cars and no hot food for sin. Okay. I mean, oh yes, with the mouth. No cars?
Oh, my hand got slammed in the car door.
Right.
And it was a whole thing, and it's doing okay. I was afraid it was fractured, but no, it is perfectly fine.
That's really
my phone took the brunt of the damage.
But it's just the image is really. I empathize with your pain. Oof.
Oh yeah, it sucks so bad. I was crying, and then on top of it, I had my birthday stream after Leon's stream, so it was like all these things just made me feel so much worse. And then everybody's like, "No, just heal up. It's okay." And I was like, "Thank you." It was quite sweet.
Well, so fellow Aries, I'm also Aries, so happy birthday, Aries.
Nice, thank you, and happy birthday to you.
Aries are cool.
I think so.
Can we disclose your birthday, Cameron, or is that a secret?
April 3rd.
Happy belated.
Yeah.
Mine's the 11th.
It's still coming. Are you going to stream on the 11th then, Cindy?
No, I am taking a break that day. I'm not even going to have my phone on me. I am going to be relaxing.
Good for you. That's a great choice. Well done. Smart lady. No, Ruben did not change.
April 12th is the birthday of somebody who most people don't know, and I've not maybe talked about him on this channel, is James Doherty, who was the first husband of Marilyn Monroe, which and that's his birthday. He ended up becoming the top police officer in Los Angeles, founded the first ever SWAT team, was a massive hero, and was also the guy that saved young Norma Jean from the orphanage, married her, gave her a good home, and she left him to become famous and never met anybody as good as him. She met a lot more famous people than him, but he ended up being a really, really wonderful guy who had a good life and forgotten by history, but he didn't deserve to be.
For some reason, this all sounds so familiar to me.
Yeah.
It's almost like you read a script about it.
Well, yeah, we don't need to hear the critiques, but we'll keep going.
No, but hold on. Okay, but listen, I want to say first that he definitely he founded the first SWAT team. And hello, lovely Sherry. It was great to see you. Thank you for coming. In LA, he created that whole system, and he was a sniper from the military, and he definitely was not in Dallas. It was at 63.
He was not in Dallas in 63.
Not in Dallas in 63 at all.
Even though he traveled the country to train SWAT teams. So
even though tragically, she had been possibly by, someone involved with him, the man who loved her first would have nothing to do with taking revenge on that person at all.
Well, if setting even that aside, had he found out that DiMaggio was beating Marilyn, which he was, or Arthur Miller was psychologically messing up her head, he would have broken all of their bones. I mean, he loved this woman to the end and never got over her, which I can understand.
To be fair, I know you said you didn't want to hear the criticisms. This is a positive thing. That the line that hit the hardest in your script, at least in my opinion, was when he's doing the voiceover and he goes, "I hate very few people." But at the top of that list is I don't. It
was her first modeling agent who got her into prostitution. Right?
I wasn't sure how to pronounce it. Was Emmeline? Is that what it is? Or
Emmeline Snively? Yeah.
Emmeline. So it was like I can picture a loving but broken husband. Like years later, just I don't know. The dialogue that was a really fucking good line. Just
All right, we'll good. So you like some stuff. We'll get to it. We want to keep. Let's keep going. Let's keep going on dire wolves and things. We'll get back to Maryland.
I like
I'm so
95%
pumped
of it,
about
I
dire
swear.
wolves.
I
You
like
know the best place to
95%.
do it. We're going to talk about JFK today, right? And all the JFK files. So and I actually was at a meeting of the Maryland Remembered Fan Club, which is the local LA fan club, which is the biggest fan club in the world. I was at a meeting just this weekend, and one of Oliver Stone's partners on JFK came to talk about what he knew about JFK in Maryland. So that's the right way to bring the script in when we get there.
Absolutely. Again, I don't want you to think I didn't like it. By the way, I did. I very much did enjoy it. Like I did not.
No, yeah, I'm just being a jerk. Don't have to say it again. Don't worry.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
We're having fun. Let's keep it. Howard Nods give us a super sticker.
We did. So I want to play a clip of her. I'll see if she come on first though. So I sent her a link if she wants to join. She can. Your Barmy. I'm starting a dire wolf fight club. Invest now or lose out. The hot tub is real. Okay. Yes, the Rev was not distributing swastikas. The cross just broke during delivery, and he had to. That makes sense. You make up the money where you can. What's up, Shield Wall? Good to see you here. Soul Assassin. One of the things I think is cool about this is like this whole community we got going, or whatever you want to call it, is like Soul Assassin. I was in the chats with him years back, and other channels, and then I see him now and other people in Cindy's channel supporting her and Leon's channel supporting him, and it's great. I like seeing how we all kind of reach out and touch someone, right? And I'm gonna hold Leon in my arms very soon. Whether he likes
I was
it.
singing that the other day.
Did you?
Yeah, you got the touch. I started humming it, and then it's like I said it in a voice chat, and everybody else started singing it too.
We got the power, and look who we got here, Nadia.
Naughty!
You beautiful bitch. How you doing?
I was building Legos. That's what I was fucking doing.
Wow. Are you
took
feeling
her
good?
away from her arts and crafts.
You did. I'll be on for a little bit. I can't promise the whole night, but
Okay.
What you building?
I am building the Hogwarts castle.
Oh,
Oh, I am
it was
so jealous. That sounds awesome.
My birthday gift to myself.
That was the one I voted for.
And I got a display box and lights for it too. So this is
Ooh.
yeah.
Oh, wow. So you're also an Aries?
I'm a cusp actually, Pisces Aries.
Ooh.
So
Like an edge.
yeah.
Well, happy birthday to you, Natty.
Thank you. And I also was sick during it. Katie, if you bring that here, I swear to God.
I'm not. I'm on
I
a
swear to
medication right now.
She's not on any medication.
Don't
She's
lie to these people.
always
No.
spreading diseases.
I
That's what she does.
swear,
not
I will hunt you
Dude,
down. I'm not
I
even
don't want
kidding.
Katie. I kind of want Katie to be patient zero for COVID-2 Electric Boogaloo.
No,
and start
no.
in Vegas.
No. I
She was
still
patient
am
zero for
dealing with an
monkeypox.
ear infection
Shut
and
up.
pain. No.
I will be fine. Come
You better
Monday.
be. You better
Okay.
be. Or I'm putting you in a bubble. Plastic bubble.
I am
I'm
bringing
not gonna be
Canadian
the bubble
viruses
boy
with
in
me, so
Vegas.
get ready.
Oh man, I can't wait to see how many
You're bringing
viruses
Justin
Vex
Trudeau with
brings
you?
me.
Oh. No, but if I could, I'd fly first class or on one of his private jets. That would be okay, I suppose. I'd finally get something for my tax dollars from that man. Man.
It's going to be an interesting week, I will say, having everybody in town.
Mhm.
It'll be so cool.
I am excited. And that's your turf too, Nadia.
Yep. I'm out here. So I know the escape routes, saying Irish goodbyes when I got to go.
Where would you want to go?
Bed.
Oh.
I am not as young as
Based.
some of you. Yeah.
Your Barmy, I got a clip for you. How about this?
Oh, my
I
goodness.
love it when fat people get hurt.
I love it.
As long as they hurt themselves, it's so funny. That's my take on it.
Absolutely.
Yep. Nothing to do with me. I hurt zero people with that. The blonde girl though, I don't know what that was. Like
It's like she passed out before the cartwheel happened, and then her body just kind of gave out.
The timing was excellent, though. Like, it really was perfect. Just the thump at the end is a bit concerning.
Can we?
She didn't even move.
Can we roll it back for 1 second? Katie, what were you diagnosed with? Do you have the flu?
Oh, no.
So this might be a shocker, but I didn't go to the doctor.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I don't trust doctors no more after what we all went through. Yeah.
I don't like going to the doctor, so I
I
have no
Neither
idea.
do I like
I've
my
been to
dentist.
urgent care 4 times in 2. I swear to God, Katie.
I'm not. I promise.
You
I'm
get sick.
We'll be okay.
Chat, I have a
strong immune
challenge.
system. I'm still young, okay? It'll be okay.
But I'm not.
Homeopathy is the way, ladies. Homeopathy. Everything that's worked for 5,000 years,
And I-
try that.
I
Try
have,
that
an
first.
I have an autoimmune issue that I go get a infusion for that also lowers my immune system.
Yeah, that's why I
swear
go
to
try
God,
stuff
Katie.
like black seed oil and stuff that's worked for 10,000 years.
Andy, you better
Try that.
start shopping
Nah.
for a new
I'm not
co-host
gonna kill
as a
anyone.
backup.
Oh.
Andy, stop spreading lies.
Because she's absolutely going to try and eat off your plate. You need to tell her no.
Oh.
I don't even want to be the
Fair,
same.
look at
guilt
her.
She eats
with
her- do you eat with your hands, Katie?
Oh. I'm actually going to bring
What
on
is this
videos of
turning
Katie eating.
into?
So it's grotesque. Like,
Do you double dip, Katie?
Oh my god.
Do you double dip the
I'll
chips?
double dip with you, Katie.
mm,
No.
So, chat, I've left her on here uncomfortably long so that we can then ask the chat to tell me, diagnose Katie.
I knew
But
If it's the flu, man,
let's
it's
be respectful, but diagnose Katie, chat, please. Let me know, what do you think is wrong with her, and when will she be better?
bad. Okay,
I
what do you
don't
got?
know,
What do you
but
got? A
like-
cough, runny nose. What do you got? What do you got?
Nadia wants her to put the dye in diagnose so she doesn't make it to fucking Vegas. Like,
Oh my God, man. If I get sick, I'm still suffering, man. I still got this bad fucking ear infection that I'm dealing with because of it. So, like, if I get sick again from one of you motherfuckers, I'm going to be so upset. I'm going to be so upset. I will be.
I mean, the
upset
odds are so
everything.
high, though.
I know, right? With that many people.
Yes.
I'm going to start taking my vitamin C right now. I'm
This
so
is it.
old.
This is exactly what happens when my mom calls. The exact same thing. I have, like, oh, I've got this virus and this. Yeah, same thing. Same conversation every time.
Gosh.
Are you sick? Sin has natural sausage fingers. Excuses. I don't know.
okay, girl.
I am just clumsy.
Club Z? What?
Clumsy.
Oh, clumsy. Okay.
I thought it
my
was
bad.
Club Z too for a second there.
Goodness.
What is up, CBR? Justin Cook. What's up, jerks? We're jerkier on Saturday, but 7 days a week we can be jerked.
What's up, little dwarf?
Oh, is Psycho a little dwarf?
No. Justin looks like a dwarf.
Oh, he's Canadian a boot.
He's in a boot.
He's in a boot. People are they're pulling for you, Cindy. We will get through the. Love it's here too. What's up, Love it? Vex, what a great panel. Great to see you, Vex. Always nice to see Love it. Who had her birthday stream / 200 sub stream / eat a whole pizza stream, which she didn't eat a whole pizza.
Is
But she
everybody
did
born
look
in
at-
April?
Pretty much.
Seems like our parents are all getting down around the same time.
That seems to be
That's what it
the
feels
attitude.
like.
In the air that time of the year.
Direwolf all the way. Thank you. We need more direwolves. Vex, he's not. All right. Let's go, peoples. Okay. So, we got some people coming over from Cameron. Thank you. Stacey, these are, I'm sure, people from the Patreon Writer Brothers. Hail, Cameron and Zach. in the
Yeah.
chat. Thank you for coming, Writer Brothers.
I just did a video with Ryder Brothers, so when people are done with the channel, go over there and see the video we did.
Oh, awesome. Isaac 556X45. Good to see you. That's ammunition, right? Am I right? My American friends?
What is? I'm sorry.
556 and 45 by 45. Yeah.
I should know that, but I don't. So anyone who is a gun knowledgeable person should.
Well,
ask.
you live in California. Of course you would.
Yeah. The only people that own guns here are the police and bad guys, which sometimes can be the same thing.
Explains California.
Boosh raid. Boosh.
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 Boosh is going through some hell stuff, so please
Not again.
love out to
Fucking
Boosh.
A, man.
I know.
What?
No.
Is he okay?
It's his story to tell, so I don't want to. But just prayers, thoughts.
You know, it's like Final Destination. It rotates to the top, and you were the top.
necrosis
Nico's
of the
if you want
pinky
to.
toe.
Oh, Rossi's in the house
No, I'm just
already.
kidding.
Rossi.
The only illness Katie has is mental. Hashtag anger. Do you have is there a story there?
She's just always angry.
She is.
She's a woman.
Sure.
Technically, you're half woman, Leon, so you're kind of shitting on half of yourself.
You
Not
know what?
anymore.
You got to be able to take it if you're going to dish it out, Nadia.
Well,
you
you're
can't
really
let
good at
yourself-
taking it, that's for sure.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
going to
this-
say you
this
said.
bitch.
Well, that's the show. So let's wrap. That was we can't get better than that. We're good. Let's go.
Pot kettle, dude.
Okay, so Cameron, I want to highlight this story from your Patreon, which I will put the link in the chat.
Sure.
It's in the description, if you don't mind.
Go ahead, please.
This is I want to talk about the Gina Carano, the discovery, and you're a lawyer, which also works great. So
Former lawyer. I'm not a lawyer anymore. A long time ago. But yes.
you're trained to be an attorney.
Once, many years ago. Yes.
Yeah. So someone had tried to prevent discovery. I don't know how that really works because I'm first of all Canadian and never been close to being a lawyer. So what does all that mean? What does discovery mean for us? Why was that so important to Gina? And can you tell me where Gina is right now?
Okay. Well, discovery is the general process of once a lawsuit is filed, in order to find out if there's any evidence that you can use to make your case, you have to do what is called discovery, which is then, information everywhere from files to documents to records to emails to then interviewing or deposing witnesses is part of the discovery process, right? And so what happened is a few days ago, Gina Carano announced on her X Twitter feed that she'd been very frustrated because Disney had been stonewalling, releasing a lot of documents that her lawyers had requested as part of their effort to build a case that she was unfairly discriminated against and dismissed illegally, right? And for her religious beliefs, political beliefs, whatever. And
Right.
so that Disney was just stalling and not releasing information that they needed to make their case. And so she went ahead and her lawyers went ahead and did what's called a motion to compel discovery, which is basically after multiple efforts of trying to get the other side, which is Disney lawyers, to comply. Disney lawyers always said, no, we're not going to give it to you, or made excuses or whatever, or tomorrow, inshallah, you'll receive it, and they never got it.
Right.
So finally, they went to the judge saying enough is enough because so much time was wasted in waiting for discovery from Disney that the judge pushed the actual trial before a jury that was scheduled in federal court, I believe it's September of this year, 2025, to February of 2026, which is very frustrating for Gina, but is helpful for Lucasfilm or Disney, because I've long theorized that whatever agreement or arrangement, because I do believe they will settle with her, I don't think they will let this go to trial, but they need to prolong it as long as possible because it's just bad form politically for them to settle with Gina Carano, make an agreement with her, maybe even give her a job back like she's asked for in her legal filings, while Kathleen Kennedy is there, because then Kathleen Kennedy has to have somebody work under her employee who she fired and had called an anti-Semite and a bigot and all these things. And now that person is forced to come under it would show that Kathleen Kennedy doesn't have any power, which politically we can't do. So of course, Disney would try to prolong that process until whenever Kennedy leaves. And we have indications that she'll leave this year. So it made sense for them to push it until they got to 2026. But now Gina's people got fed up and they said, we're going to force the court to make you give us these documents. So they filed this motion, and within only a few days, the judge granted part of the motion. He is specifically granting them Gina access to the pay records. How much were her coworkers and other people involved in Mandalorian and other things? How much were they paid? Because I'm sure the lawyers will make some kind of argument linking into discrimination based on that I'm sure if I were a lawyer, if I am not anymore, but if I were a lawyer, I would try to use that information to say, look how much little she was paid compared to somebody else, right? And so that they always were discriminating against her. And then that's the idea. That is the idea. So, that's very humiliating for Disney. And as I would then talk to my people inside of Lucasfilm, this was very embarrassing for Iger because he had been told by the Disney attorneys. We have to understand there's two levels of attorneys. There's Lucasfilm's private in-house attorneys that are Lucasfilm in-house counsel. And then there's the overarching Disney legal office, right? Which is the big lawyers in charge of the whole company, right? Which is essentially like a big, it's like the DOJ. It's the people. Disney's the size of a country when it comes to GDP, right? And so those Disney lawyers, and I've been reporting to my Patreon for a couple of years, have been desperately trying to get this, to get this thing to go away, and they were telling Iger they could win this case for him. Now it doesn't look like they can win this case because for the judge to so quickly grant this motion means he is irritated. He is irritated that Disney is stonewalling, right? And is telling them, no, you have to give them his documentation, and it's silly that you haven't already done so. That's really bad because that's forcing them to consider a settlement before their whole. I mean, again, the indications are, at least from the reports earlier on, that Kennedy tried to deny, but I don't believe her denial. The reports from the Hollywood Reporter, Variety, and Puck, 3 different trades simultaneously reported that she's leaving this year, and that she has a successor in place. That's been settled. And then she came out to Deadline and said, "That's not true. I will leave this year on my own terms." So she indicated she's leaving, right? But again, a lot of people didn't understand that she actually agreed with that, but try to flip it that I'm doing this willingly of my own terms. In any event, they needed to get this. They needed to make this thing prolonged until 2026. Now they're facing with, we have to give sensitive information to Gina's people, which could make us look bad. And then now what do? Do they give the sensitive information to Gina's people, which could be used against them? Or do they settle with Gina and reveal that Kathleen Kennedy isn't in charge? And because Gina has asked for her job back, there are people
that's predicated on the idea that Gina would settle, which Gina won't settle. I mean, again, that's predicated on the, she's
no, but why wouldn't she settle? She's asked for her job back. If they offered her job back,
because she has said many times, Elon confirmed this many times, that this is going to trial, this is going to discovery.
Unless she gets what she wants. But Leon, if she gets what she wants, which is I want my job back, that's what she has asked.
No. She has said multiple times what she wants is to expose Disney. Getting her job back.
Yeah, that's just stuff in a speech.
Getting her job back would be icing on the cake. But she's after Disney first, her job second. If she is to be believed in what she said.
No, but then she's in a problem, because if they were to actually give her what she said, the court would be like, "Why are you not taking it? This is what you've asked for." She wouldn't be able to do that. See, this is the mistake people are making. If they actually said, "We're going to," because all she's asked for is $75,000 and her job back. 75K is nothing. She's a multimillionaire. So she's asked for her job.
She doesn't need the job.
We'll give you your job back, and she says no, the court will dismiss the case. We'll say, you've been given what you asked for, and you're not taking it, and you're abusing the court. So there's no this is a narrative that doesn't make any sense. Because they give.
I think it makes, as someone who's gone through depositions, multiple court hearings as an ex-cop, I think it makes perfect sense. I mean, at the end of the day, Gina has said multiple things beyond just her job. She said that she wants to expose Disney for their for their blatant discrimination, both politically and on the basis of gender.
Yeah, but they're never. But if they give her what she's asked for in the lawsuit, how can she?
In the lawsuit, I mean. I could be wrong. It's been a long time since I've read through all the details and whatnot, because frankly, I don't cover Disney shit anymore. But I could swear she was asking for more than just money and her job back.
No, she's asking for money, and her job back, and probably some damages. And if they give her that, so what?
Fair enough. I don't think Disney will give her that, to be fair, but fair enough.
Can they give her job back though when the role is gone? Like, you can't.
No, of course they can. They can, because I've been saying on my Patreon for 2 years now that Jon Favreau has, because my colleagues in Lucasfilm have seen the alt scripts that he's written where he's reinserted the character just in case somehow they make an arrangement. There's alternative scripts that exist for his movie, right? Just in case. So he's thinking that's a possibility. In any event, obviously, Leon, you and I don't agree on this, but I think if she's offered her job back, there's no way for her to proceed, because the court will be like, the case dismissed.
I mean, to be fair, it would be in Disney's best interest to give her a job back, because the court case being pushed back to 2026, specifically when in 2026, is like within a few weeks, if I recall, window of the Mandalorian Grogu film being released. You can't, this court case is so public. Disney, that will tarnish the movie. Mandalorian and Grogu coming out at the same time.
Yeah, and she doesn't want to do that.
You're going off the assumption, Leon, that they have any idea what is in their best interest, because if it was in their best interest, they would have hired her back immediately with a big ass apology.
Yeah, true.
No. I mean, Disney doesn't care about their best interest; they care about their pride. That's why they're one of the last companies to fight against tooth and nail. When you see people like Universal and them changing and flipping the script and being like, "Yeah, maybe we should start listening to the actual audience." Disney is the only one, or one of the only ones still not doing it, because their pride matters to them more than anything else. So yes, I do think.
Oh, so I'm right.
No, but correct. But the problem is, Gina is friends with Jon Favreau. What you've suggested is this thing goes to trial. Let's say they remain in Pride, and this stuff gets out in Discovery, it goes to trial, and it damages the release of the Mandalorian. Well, she's just destroyed her chance of ever getting work with Jon Favreau, who's her friend. He didn't want her fired. He created the job for her.
No, I agree with that. I'm not blaming you for this. I'm saying I think Disney is that dumb. I'm saying I think Disney would rather let this go to trial than settle just because.
Time out, J-Mac. 20 members.
Well, her lawyers are definitely that dumb. I agree with you. Not her lawyers, his lawyer. Disney's lawyers are definitely that dumb. I 100%
that's what I'm saying.
They are that dumb. But that's where we've come to. We're at a point of no return. If they move forward, they lose. If they settle, Kennedy loses. Disney might be okay. Kennedy loses because then they have to there's one or two options. You bring her back and Kennedy's sitting in the office. Well, she's not in the office, but technically she's the president. Everyone's like, Kathleen Kennedy, you've been humiliated. You have to work with this woman again. Or they force Kennedy to officially step down before she comes back. It's a lose-lose for Kennedy. And if this continues, it's a lose-lose for everybody. Everybody loses.
I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. I do think it'll go Discovery. I think they're that incompetent. But again, I'm okay with being wrong by all means.
Yeah, it's going to Discovery. That's where they're trapped. You're right. It is. They were hoping to hold Discovery off. They're now trapped because the judge is fed up. The judge is
settling after Discovery. That's the point. Yeah, I think Gina would be fine with settling after Discovery because at that point everything's out. Everything's
no. Everything's out to her lawyers. Once it's in Discovery, it's not released. It only comes out in trial. So
we will. We'll get to direwolves, Nadia. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing is, I'm saying if I were, and I've been told that my contacts at Lucasfilm is that Lucasfilm's lawyers are telling Iger, don't listen to our Disney bosses, Disney legal counsel. Settle this. Now, he's not. So far, he's listening to his immediate circle of lawyers who are like, it's going to be okay, boss. Don't worry about it. We got this under control. They don't have this under control. It's going to a very bad place. So Iger's got to wake up or he's going to lose real bad. I agree with you.
I don't think she'll go back to that job. Even if she gets it back, I don't think she'll go back. I don't know why she would.
I mean, why? She doesn't have a career. Daily Wire's finished. She has no career. She wants her job back. She asked for it.
Her family is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. She doesn't need the job.
But she asked for the job back because she wants to be an actress.
Well, she would get more money if she just saw the lawsuit through. So, I mean, saying that she doesn't have the money would be kind of a...
No. Gina Toronto is she's an heiress to was it hotel chain empire?
Caesars.
Oh wow.
Caesars. Yeah.
She's a very rich family.
A large 9% of Caesars Palace and all those.
Yeah, the big casino family.
50 casinos they own.
Yeah, so she's fine. She doesn't need the money. She doesn't even need Elon Musk to back this. She could back this out of her paycheck. It's not. I mean, that was for political reasons. She went with Elon. She doesn't need his help. Again, we'll find out what she does. If you may be right, this goes all the way. Then they're all going to lose because if it goes to trial, only bad things will come out. That my Lucasfilm contacts has said. That's where they're begging Iger to stop listening to corporate counsel, Disney counsel, and listen to them, which is, we've seen what's in these files. You do not want these emails released. You don't want, anyone on the stand talking about these emails in public because it's going to make everyone look like buffoons at Disney, and it's going to look really shady about how much power Kathleen Kennedy had. And that's
it's also the political climate has heavily shifted since she's been fired. So there's going to be a mass populace against Disney because the political sentiments have shifted with the majority of America. So,
yeah, exactly. Well, political has not shifted in Hollywood. Remember, Hollywood remains a bubble. It remains a bubble. I was reminded of that today. Hollywood's a bubble. So I guess.
Can I ask why it reminded you today? What do you mean?
Oh no! I found out that there was a project I'm supposed to go to, and my politics prevents me from being involved in it. So
okay. Sorry for being nosy. I was trying to. I'm trying to follow the conversation.
No. I mean, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. This town is what it is. It hasn't changed, and I've survived those kinds of things before, and so that's life.
Holy!
I mean, it was straightforward. It was literally like, you tweeted this 5 years ago, so we can't work with you. I mean, that's what it was, and that's okay. That's life. That's the town.
Do we gotta get J-Mac a clip? I don't think we ever did. Sorry.
No, we have not. He got a lot of clips out to him, but
hold on, I gotta step away for just
Nadia,
1 minute.
Yes, okay? For sure. Nadia, please. Yeah, I'm not following that, so please, if it's an issue, take care of it.
Okay.
Okay, direwolves. I am excited about direwolves. Like, when I heard about this, it's all I've been able to think about, which I know I don't want to hear from people that they're not actually direwolves, because I don't care if they're really, well, you can say that. It doesn't matter to me if they're not the actual direwolves. The fact that people are making giant wolves like for fun,
I'm real fucking disappointed in you, Zex.
I am so excited. Why?
Because you said it's all you could think of, which means you're taking time away from thinking about the Roman Empire.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
They're named after like the legend of the two people who built the Roman Empire. So technically, he's still thinking of the Roman Empire.
Romulus and Remus are the
Yeah.
name of the
That
wolves
was-
going on.
No, I think this is awesome. I'm not going to be that guy that's like, they're not real direwolves. So far as am concerned, yes, they fucking are. So
They're only 6 months old. They're not even fully grown.
No, these things are. I love that people they're doing this, and there's a great reason behind all of it too. But what did you think when you heard about this, Siniviere?
I didn't even know this was a thing.
What?
what?
Yeah, I don't.
What
This is
rock
new
have
to
you
me.
Been living under.
Yeah,
Man?
where have
A
you
very
been?
big one.
Yeah.
They brought back this company called Colossal, who was working. They're the ones who made the
Woolly
woolly mice,
Woolly
woolly
mice,
mammoth
yeah.
mice.
Now I've heard of the woolly mice. I didn't know they made a dire wolf.
Oh yeah,
Well-
and everybody's up in roar. Even Chris was like, "Oh, that looks too small to be a dire wolf." When it was on the cover of Times, it's 6 months old, guy. That's halfway to 1 year, and they still don't stop growing after that.
It's on the cover of Time magazine, so that's where it kind of has blown up. And people are talking about them using this for like press, and obviously, yes, of course they are. Like, I think they're worth $10 billion at this point. This company's doing, but this is a small part of what they're doing. It's a very cool part of what they're doing. But they've taken remains of 2 different fossilized direwolf pieces. So one was from like 12,000 years ago, one was from like 70,000 years ago, and they've taken some of those genes, I think 15 or 16 genes, spliced them into a gray wolf, is my understanding. I don't know the science, and then they made 40 some embryos of direwolves, and they put them into these dogs. And out of that, we've got 2 now 6-month-old brothers, Romulus and Remus, and now the puppy Khaleesi, which, like, great names. Their PR people are perfection so far, I would say. Katie, Andy, how do you guys feel about direwolves?
So I don't like the name Khaleesi. I think that is a no. But
so George R. R. Martin's doing this instead of finishing Winds of Winter, by the way. Just like
just doing
He's
photo
guy-
walls.
never gonna
the guy
finish
will
it, guys.
bring life into the
Yeah.
world. He will finish the fucking books.
He's too scared to, man. You know what? I'm under the theory that he was testing shit out a little bit with the
I
last
agree.
season, and it didn't go over. So now he's just kind of written himself into a corner, and he doesn't know where to go. So it's never gonna be. And he's probably bored of it too. Sorry.
Well, and he
Sorry for
dived
being-
into like the Hollywood deep end. So I don't doubt that he thought he was going to get a lot of accolades for what they did with the show. And when that didn't happen, it's like not like you can go do the opposite, because if you do the logical thing, people just think he did it as a response to the show and he'll look like a hack. So yeah, I agree.
I mean, he's probably drowning in women and drugs and just having a good time and writing about different projects. He doesn't care about finishing this book. And this is not even the last book. So I'm sorry to tell you. That's why I won't even read them, because I'm like, I'm not. Nope. I'm okay.
You haven't read any of
Nope.
Song of Ice and Fire? Oh my
Nope.
gosh.
Oh
They're phenomenal.
no.
So hold on. So J Mac, you have gifted 40 fucking memberships. That's insane. Thank you, dude. This is not even a clip. I'm pulling this off Twitter. This is our good friend Nadia. And you may want to, turn your volume down a little bit. That's the warning. But this is her scaring the shit out of herself. Playing this game. What's the game, Nadia?
Haunted High School. It was like some free game on a web browser that I was testing them out, and I just before this went, oh yeah, this isn't too scary. It's so scary. And then
This has never been seen before. I tried to clip this immediately but it was a private member stream, so I couldn't clip it. And Nadia was nice enough to share it. And now you're all gonna see it, whether she likes it or not.
Oh, Nadia, you're so adorable.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, so cute.
That's awesome.
The reason why it pointed to the corner is because you're using the mouse. So like my hands went up and my mouse went forward on my desk.
Oh, that's enough.
Have you played Phasmophobia?
No, I also have is it the Mortician's Assistant?
Oh, you're gonna
Oh.
love Mortician's Assistant.
Oh, that's going to be interesting.
I'm gonna play Until Dawn. I'm thinking I might play Until Dawn Monday just because I'm not streaming next week with everybody in town, but we'll see. And finish that game and then move on.
So it's also, and for context, Nadia is the horror maven. Like she is the queen.
But I'm shitty at video games.
But, but still, you know.
So our powers combined, we could be like an unstoppable force, Naughty.
Sin, even birds will fly across the camera in Until Dawn and it will literally scare me. It's so bad.
I understand. I was freaking out like randomly on BioShock earlier. Like something small moves and I'm already like high strung. Yes, I understand.
Yeah.
You're both
It's,
pitiful.
Says the guy who can't outshoot me.
Oh,
It says the guy that literally plays horror games all the time for fun while tripping acid. Like,
Oh, and who's the
drugs
Resident
and
Evil
gambling.
expert?
Oh my gosh.
by the way, Leon, I want to have you and Brandon back on when Zach Krager's Resident Evil comes out to talk to both
Sign
of
me
you
the
about it.
fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I got one more for you, J-Mac. This is another one. It's a longer one, and Sassy's in the chat, so this is going to be very special for her. Get ready. This is
Please have these readily available in Vegas. Please have these.
this clip is titled Black Comedy.
Is generating Oscar buzz despite its unique controversial subject matter. So let me go down. Okay, so the sci-fi black comedy, which I'm not understanding why if it's a black comedy and we've casted Emma Stone. Did you?
Black comedy doesn't mean actual black.
It says black comedy. What did you say?
Did I just hear black comedy? I just got back. What's happening?
No,
She
just
said,
said
why is it called black comedy if Emma Stone is here? But that's not what black comedy
he said it means dark comedy.
Yes,
Oh
that's
my-
what it means.
That's
Oh my gosh.
that is
It
dark.
is.
I miss Camera Vex.
Oh, me
Yeah.
too. Me too. Even though I think it's partially my fault. I think we lost Camera Vex, but
Vex, camera on my shows from now on. I'm wholesome, unlike Zach's.
What'd you do? Too hard, Zaxy?
She was camera on for her own stream. She raised a bit of money for Jacob.
yes.
Put those girls to work.
I was stayed up all night so that I could be up early enough to watch it, and I passed out while instead of waiting for stream to start.
Oh,
So like, she got the views and whatnot. It clearly kept running, but I was just like slumped over my desk, outski.
That
Well,
sounds
see-
like you.
It's the end of the day. It's cats and dogs living together. Harmony. Up is down, left is right. Let's just get an island to put the dinosaurs on it. You know, I think that's like that would be awesome. I don't even like people worry about what's going to happen with this, and nothing. Like nothing is going to happen with this except for awesomeness.
it
It's
could
just-
also extend human life while they're
Right.
like bringing these things back and figuring out all this stuff. This, in a sense, could extend our species for some reason. I
They're
don't know
keeping
why.
them in
Science.
captivity, though, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Until nature finds a way.
Yeah.
until they escape.
Like I
And
don't think
nature finding the way would just be them digging under the fence, though. It wouldn't be like some elaborate thing. It's like, oh shit, dogs like to dig.
both
A wolf,
of them.
I feel like a wolf is not that threatening. Like you could take it out pretty well with a firearm. It's when
I'm
they're
so
gonna.
glad you added the addendum of with a firearm because you're about to sound
Oh,
like every
yeah.
40-year-old
No,
trailer
no.
park dude.
No,
It's
no,
like,
no.
I can fight a bear with my fucking bare
No, no, no.
hands.
But
I was gonna say, if she
Uh,
has to do the man versus versus bear, I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah, women choose bear, but would you choose dire wolf?
Oh shit, that's
I
a good
would choose the
question.
dire wolf. I would because dogs love me. I assume wolves would too. But
Straight up bite you in half.
I wouldn't
Famous
worry
last
about a
words.
dire wolf getting out. I would be more worried about the next big creature or a creature that might be something that goes in the sea. gets loose, they're never gonna find it.
For real. Megalodons.
Yep.
Okay, no, fuck that. We draw the line at sea creatures. Bring back all the land dwelling shit.
We don't
you
even
want,
know
I'm here
half the
for it.
sea creatures we have.
Right.
Right, dude. Like next thing you know, it's gonna be like, oh no, we just revived the Kraken, bitch. I just booked a cruise. Like, I'm not okay with this.
For the chat, ladies, this is for you, but honestly, you can answer whatever you want. Man, bear, or direwolf? Let's go. What do you pick? If you're gonna be in the woods.
Yet they would all pick Rob Stark riding a direwolf.
Oh yeah,
Like that guy's cool.
absolutely.
I think
What does the
Rob Stark.
man look like? This is gonna matter. What is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
He
up to your
has to be hot.
imagination. So you can.
If
that's
it's
up-
my imagination, man.
Then I pick man. Yeah.
you,
If
you
it's
tell
my
me now,
imagination, I
yeah.
pick man.
I think that one thing I want to get into before I show the video is people have not brought this up yet, but why did they have to be white?
Because Ghost is white.
It's a bit racist, don't you think, Andy?
This whole thing
No.
just feels like they're trying to like build hype around House of Dragons season 3. They're like, remember how big it was this
They
week?
need to.
It could
White
be. That's
direwolf.
smart though.
I'm
Probably
surprised they
that,
didn't
Zach.
put red
Like, when's the
contact
last time
lenses
you
on
heard a
these
fucking
dogs.
black dude named Romulus? Like,
Yeah,
But-
true.
Andy,
Bro,
wouldn't
are
it
you
be more
serious,
so
Leon?
that they should bring back dragons for the House of Dragon series?
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
I take umbrage at what Leon just said. Bro, black guys are the only dudes rocking those Latin names. Like you got like a Hutavius or
Romulus is not a
Octavius.
black name. Like
Bro.
Rom Dakian or something. Or
There's
Rom.
probably
yeah,
a
not
Romulus in the NFL right now.
Romulus was a pretty
Romulus
good movie.
Jefferson.
You're
is
probably
a
not
dude in
wrong.
the NFL. Yeah.
Yeah.
Octavius.
Wait, did you just say Romulus is a good movie?
Yeah.
That
No.
doesn't
Okay.
fucking count, Andy. Because like if the fucking black mom tried to name him Romulus, like she's misspelled Robert is what
Oh,
happened. Like,
yeah. How do you think they would spell Romulus if you're an inner city mom, Leon? Do you think it had like where do you think it diverges?
After the R-U-R-O-M.
Are you
R-O-M?
O-M? I was like, wait, are you M?
Katie,
Romulus?
if Katie if you were
Bro,
spelling
no!
Romulus, where would you put the hyphen in Romulus?
There you go.
Where would you think that's 2 words?
It'd be after the R-U. R-O. Why do I keep saying
She
R-U-M?
admits
God.
Be like RUM dash
Thank you, Soul Assassin.
dash L us.
But you
No,
have to
it
add some
belongs
numbers or
LES.
it has to be it can't be spelled like Romulus spread out.
Romulus is like a
It has
budget
to
Roman
be
fitter
spelled
of
weird.
clothes.
Oh my gosh.
Katie, we're waiting.
Me off the screen.
Spell Romulus, quick.
It would literally be R-O-M apostrophe L-E-S-S.
If you want to go big, make the O a 0. That's
Oh my god.
Yeah.
that's based.
Or
If I
it'd
guess
be
the other urban
L-U-S-T,
efficiency would be all night.
Romulust. Put lust in the name.
Romulicious.
Romulus.
Ooh, I like that.
Kata, why do you always come in when we're talking about your people? I don't know.
Kata,
why.
Kata's like, I'm gonna name my son Romulus.
Yeah.
Kata's timing is impeccable. Welcome, Kata. Anyone else who has comment? People's here too. Chat is what got Molly coddled here. Piranha Pouts in the house. What's up, Shinotsky? Prophetic.
how you doing, Piranha?
Let's go. People. E. Clay Thompson's in the house. Lots of people showing up. So thank you. So let's look through this. Go this video. This is from Colossal. This is their video. They're probably going to copyright claim me, but that's fucking fine. I guess take my money. Not that I don't actually monetize these, but that's okay. Don't tell them. And this is Canada. So let's see if Trudeau will let me play this video.
Nope.
But today it returns.
Oh,
So cute.
And Romulus, the first 2 direwolves since the Pleistocene era. At just 15 days old, the pups take their first wobbly steps before a much-needed nap time.
they're so big.
I want to quickly jump in with the fact that one of the major founders and the backers of this company is Peter Jackson, and so they were
Wait,
they were
like the Peter Jackson?
Peter Jackson,
The Peter Jackson.
and that's why there is the pictures of them on the Game of Thrones throne is because Peter Jackson bought that. He bought the throne, and so it just so happens that when they were
He didn't
visiting,
buy the rights to the source material.
Probably would
Should
have
come back as an animation, to be honest.
But 100%, yeah. But fun fact, this is it. Like this is that's why they're on this throne, because it's his throne.
I saw the picture on the throne. I thought it was photoshopped, like because direwolves and Game of Thrones shit like that. I didn't realize this was a legitimate photo.
Yeah, it is legit.
I have a question. I have a science question.
Okay.
So were these like implanted into like a current wolf and a birth from a wolf, just
No.
genetically made up as dire wolves, or was this just like spliced together?
Yes and no. Not a wolf.
Oh.
They use dogs. So they use large breed dogs to carry the embryos.
Gotcha.
Not wolves. But they use gray wolf DNA, dire wolf DNA mixed together. And whether or not, like, these are obviously not full dire wolves. Apparently dire wolves weren't actually really wolves fully. I'm learning a lot now about it, but I don't care. Like, giant wolves is good enough for me. Like, I want giant wolves. Make giant stuff. I want dragons if you can do it. I'm not worried about dinosaurs. That's fine. What's up, Bad Take Bojantina? Good to see you.
Would they release some of these out in the wild? Because wouldn't that upset the ecosystem? Yeah.
Yeah, it would run train on it.
It would be so fun.
People forget, like, if you release rabbits, like the wrong type of rabbit, it'll just like fuck up your ecology. What are you gonna do with like 6 foot tall wolves?
I just learned that
You're
jackrabbits
gonna party, Andy. You're gonna fucking party.
I just learned that jackrabbits eat baby cows.
What?
No.
Yes. I've been following these farmers who have like jackrabbit nests that if like a baby calf gets close to it, they will like attack it and like eat it.
Everybody hide Rossi from the jackrabbits. He's about that size.
What type of jackrabbit?
That's so they're creepy looking too. If you've never
Jackalopes,
seen
maybe?
them.
You think jackalopes are not real? Those aren't
No,
real.
jackrabbits.
That's
Chat.
wild.
Hold on, I just typed in "dude jack" and the first thing that comes up: do jackrabbits eat cows? So
Holy shit.
No, jackrabbits are herbivores, do not eat cows. They primarily consume their vegetation. However, let's see if they attack cows, because that was the second option.
Here we go. Jackrabbits eat calves during feeding habits of jackrabbits as they interact with habitats and sometimes eat calves in the wild.
Are they talking about like they come across like a dead calf or something?
Like baby calves, like little like they crawl up
Big
to
ship. Okay. Oh, cool.
Well,
Marius.
on the Salt Lake Tribune, jackrabbits are a bigger problem for cattle than bison in Utah's Henry
Yeah.
Mountains. U.S. study says. Hold on.
Yep.
What? What's up, Nick?
They are creepy looking too.
Nick.
Bring out the T-Rex. Brain of Fire is an underrated classic, just so you know.
Yeah.
I love Rain of I've seen it. I love it.
It's a fun movie.
Yeah.
Jack dudes.
No, they're a problem for calves and bison and cows because they eat, pertaining to their body weight, so much more foliage than the others. Like they eat a
Listen.
disproportionate amount of the vegetation.
That's not what TikTok told me, Leon. Okay.
Is this your fucking sassy or your mama Sasquatch moment?
No, I swear I follow a bunch of farmers and they're like, yeah, we're having we have to like shoo our dogs away from these little jackrabbit like huts that they like build in nature and keep calves away from them.
Fucking knew that Clip Blazinski was onto something.
I'm not sharing that. I'm not sharing that clip, Nutty. I don't believe you. Jackrabbits don't eat those. Molly Cuddle, you ruined the fun, Leon. Yeah, let's go back to the fantasy of dire wolves being awesome. Oh, also, I have actually had the privilege of being able to get close and personal with wolf hybrids. Some of them were 75% wolf, which is enough wolf. They are enormous, and I'm not a small person. They on their even just these hybrid wolves, like when they're standing on their back legs, they're as tall as me, and bigger teeth, and probably meaner. But like it was such a cool experience. I wish that you could do it again. I didn't know how lucky I was. I was a bit younger, and now you can't do that anymore. But there's people were actually breeding wolves in BC. Wolves and wolf hybrid, and they actually had wolves to breed with. I didn't go do the actual wolves, but they're big big animals. And yeah, no, Rossi, you could ride a wolf. Probably yes. You're right, Rossi. You could probably. Kata also could ride a wolf.
Yeah,
I've been to a wolf sanctuary before.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they have like this instructional video that they make you watch. It's like 5 minutes. It's like all the rules and all that. And one of the major rules was don't pet them, and because they're like all in these like giant chain link fenced enclosures, and there was like, I don't know, like 15 to 20 wolves there, and they were beautiful. We get to the first exhibit, and the first thing I do is thrust my hand in and touch one of the wolves, and luckily he was one of the biggest sweethearts on the facility, and he was just like, yeah, you can pet me, that's all right. And you hear the guy who's rocking us around go, no.
Real quick, can you bring Rossi's comment back up?
Which one?
It really doesn't matter. It's about the picture.
There you go.
Yeah, dude, you look like you could ride your own fucking dog. Yes, you could ride the fucking wolf.
You could do it.
Is that Gambit, Rossi?
Oh. What's a Gambit?
I'm sure he will eventually answer.
He was telling us about his dog.
I'm still looking up on jackrabbits.
All right, well, so we're on the dire wolves now because I was away. I had to take a call, but we're on the dire wolves at this point. That's where we are.
We are on dire wolves. This is the release video from Colossal Biosciences, which is a great name.
Have they? Wait, what have they genetically recreated them? Is that what's happened?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's 3 of them.
There's 3. So these are this is Romulus and Remus, the 2 male puppies that they've got. There's now, and they're 6 months old. This is when they're obviously not 6 months old, but they now have a female, which they named Khaleesi, which is the first female dire wolf. It's not they are not perfect recreations of dire wolves, but they used dire wolf DNA. And you know what? I'll play they can explain it better than me.
So this is Jurassic Park. They use original DNA mixed with other stuff. Yeah,
it's
exactly mixed with gray wolves. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Let's so we'll let they tell it better than me. These are the people who made the woolly mice. Cameron, if you saw, remember
I want a woolly mouse.
And they're going to make the mammoth next. That's their next.
All right. Well, I mean,
plan.
just remember, dire wolves are like the size of like huge things that could be really, really dangerous for human beings.
Horses.
We're already on the path of Jurassic Park stupidity. Like mammoths can also trample us to death. I don't know about this.
I was asking earlier if they would release these things in the wild.
No. Well, they're going to get out, but life finds a way, right? That's how that's going to work.
You got to think there is not a breeding population of these animals that could go anywhere or do anything. And
yeah, they said that in Jurassic Park, didn't they? Right?
Again, read Game of Thrones.
If this was a movie,
there's going to be a breeding population. Life finds a way. Life's like, oh, extinct suckers. We're not extinct no more. Your caveman ancestors.
I would be great with that.
Out.
I mean, Texas is full of tigers right now, so I think we're well beyond the point of like keeping things where they were supposed to be. Right?
Some dude just had his tigers claimed by the government out here in Vegas because his license overlaps and he had a bunch of tigers on his property. So
my mother actually lives next to a tiger sanctuary.
There you go.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Let's look at these.
Can't wait for those things to get out.
Yeah, let them get out. I mean, that did happen. I think it was in Idaho. This guy had like lions and tigers, and they escaped. He let them all out actually, and they let him eat them. He let them eat him because he was dying anyway, and they got out one.
That's a horrible way to go.
Right?
Oh my God.
Yeah, and they all got found and shot the first night. So that's not a fun story at all, but it's just the only example I can think of.
All was lost to time. But today it returns. Meet Remus and Romulus.
Oh, I want
the
to
first
love
2
them.
dire wolves since the Pleistocene era. At just 15 days old, the pups take their first wobbly steps before a much-needed nap time.
Aren't they cute?
You would make bank like
Oh yeah.
letting people or like having people pay to just hold them to feed them. Oh my gosh, could you
I want my
imagine?
own. Make me my own.
Right.
I fed a sloth a couple years ago. That was cool.
I did too. His name was Elmer.
I
Oh,
don't know what this
how
one's name
cute.
was. To me, it was a sloth.
You had a sloth?
No. So the bird shop where I got Hondo was running this like collaboration with the zoo,
Yeah.
and so they had people bring in sloths that you can hold and feed and take pictures with and play with and shit like that. So yeah, I went and played with sloths. It was cool.
Oh,
I have a question. Is people in an uproar about this similar to back in the day? You remember when they cloned the sheep?
Dolly the sheep.
Yeah. And
Oh.
people were just so upset about it.
I've seen a lot of your playing God style comments and whatnot. And
Yeah,
speaking
okay.
as the open Christian on the panel, I don't give a fuck. Like,
Right.
make all the crazy creatures you want.
Damn, Leon, you suck at this
Hey,
Christianity thing, brother.
Leon, maybe they bring back giants.
I think the Dolly stuff
Oh.
was the
Nephilims,
concern that
yeah.
it was going to be used on
Ooh.
people, because it was like the idea that you're doing it with sheep and you're going to start cloning people. I don't think people cared so much that you were cloning sheep, though. If I
Yeah,
remember.
and they will do that. I mean, that's
Yeah.
inevitable. That's the whole point of it.
Or they
And there was
have done
actually, well, yeah, and then there was that decent I think it was a Scarlett Johansson sci-fi movie where people
The
the
Island.
island or whatever, where people discovered that they were clones that were being kept alive so that they could be used for body parts for the original host, right? Which is
Yeah.
where they're going to take it. I promise you, they're going to take it there.
I don't know that one, but there was that one film with the Skarsgård homie and Mia Goth where they would like create the clones. Like you commit a
Cronenberg movie.
crime.
Yeah.
What was
Infinity
it,
Pool.
Nadia?
Infinity
Infinity
Pool.
Pool. Yeah, I liked Infinity Pool.
Good morning, Kitty. Good morning. Thanks for coming. Hey, Josh, I saw you in the chat. Where are you, Josh?
Josh
he
wants
is.
somebody to eat him.
I
Yep.
want someone to eat me, says Josh. Well, if you came to Vegas,
Ew.
Him and
No.
Max, man. What a disappointment.
I don't know if they exist because, like, they said they went before, and now that I'm going, they're not going to be there. So, and
Yeah.
thank you, Ross.
But Aaron Sparrow will be here
That's true. That'll
for
be
one
fun.
night. Yeah.
Thank you, Rossi. Rossi is dropping. That was a super secret. That was a puke. I think. Appears to be a puke.
no.
Yeah. Thank you, Rossi. I don't know what you're puking at, but I appreciate you for sharing it with us. So thank you. And Rossi, the real question is, can they make me taller? It may be too late.
They can do that right now, bro.
You
They just
know
break
what's
your
funny?
legs and stretch you.
Oh Jesus, that's what. Yeah, they did that on the rack too, and the Inquisition. They didn't
Yeah.
quite work. Yeah.
Josh, you're so sad. Yes, come to Canada. I'll bring you up to Canada. We'll snuggle you across the border. It'll be fine. And JMac, $10. We've been playing God since before penicillin. They are justified. There are justified ethical questions to ask, but that argument is a bit silly, in my opinion. And I will say that, like, to quote Bart Simpson, God Schmod, give me my monkey, man. I
Oh my gosh.
I agree. I think that we are so far gone. If we pretend that somehow this is going to become an issue with these giant wolves, like, we really have to look at what we have. There's private zoos all over the world with animals that shouldn't be there, and they're probably being mistreated, which is a bigger issue. And these wolves are worth so much fucking money that there's no way they're going to be let loose. Like, they have 3 right now, and this is a $10 billion company, and their plan is, which I think is fantastic, is to use this promotional material like this with these wolves, to use it to save species like the red wolf, which is what they're working on now, so they can clone the red wolf to add new genetics to that population, because populations die because there's no diversity in their genes, and diversity is our strength, as we always say on this channel. And so that's what they're doing with this tech, is they're going to use this as promotional material and then help save endangered species. They're probably they're probably evil, but they sound really good up front.
Well, of course they do. And by the way, the new Jurassic World movie we see from the trailers is all about that they need the DNA from these super special dinosaurs that were left in the park, right? For solving cancer and stuff. There's always a good reason. And if we recall, in 2020, a certain mutated virus was magically appeared right next to a lab that was investigating and mutating viruses. And so at least some crazy people still believe, crazily, that some crazy scientist might have accidentally released something that they said was never going to get released. I know that sounds wacky. I know that's not what happened in 2020 because the TV tells me so. However, there are people that believe this kind of thing. Like crazy people release things when you say they're not going to release them. They kind of release them. That's the theory, at least.
I'm telling you, this is just going to help extend human life. They're going to figure out some way, and they're going to extend human life with this kind of stuff.
They're going to extend rich people's lives.
No, they're not going to extend human life, Nadia. They're going to extend the reptilian elites' lives, and us humans are going to be left fodder.
Yes.
Platform shoes.
That's why they're doing this. Like, how, this is all the, fine. We finally figured out how to genetically solve our reptilian situations. We don't have to wear the masks anymore, right? So it's great. The movie that's going to be seen as a documentary 100 years from now, the miniseries, will be the original V, where we got taken over by alien reptiles wearing human masks, right? And 100 years from now, I'll be like, yeah, they kind of told everybody they were doing it.
If I die via direwolf, that's fine. Like, I'll take that.
Yeah, you say that right now until this thing
that is a warrior's death, Dax.
I'll take it.
It's not, for me, it's not even a matter of like dying or anything. It's so much so as like, I really want to try a mammoth steak or something. Like, just live out my Fred Flintstone fantasies.
Right. It was the lizard people. What would they taste like? That's a great question. Use that Gilgamesh DNA to clone bodies for the elites.
Soul Assassin base reference. Appreciate you, homie.
That very actually it was a pretty good movie. Any of you see that Sydney Sweeney nun movie that was out like last year?
Immaculate.
Immaculate. I thought that was fun because it's Sydney Sweeney. She's kind of hot and she's playing a nun, whatever. But that's the whole thing. They cloned baby Jesus.
It is.
She was kind of hot, and then they cloned baby Jesus, and that's like Antichrist.
I love everybody's description of that movie when they go, "It's not bad. Sydney Sweeney's pretty hot." It's like the first thing everybody goes.
Correct. That is the tagline. This movie isn't that bad. Sydney Sweeney is hot. That's the tagline on the poster.
Jeez.
J-Mac, for this, I'm going to give you a piece of Leon history.
And so, my granny was the first one to turn me on.
My granny was the first one to turn me on. Oh, Zach.
This is why I don't do live stuff super often.
This is what I discovered today. Not getting a gig because of a misunderstood tweet from 5 years ago, right? So you apparently have these misunderstood tweets from 2 years ago.
No, I purposely misunderstood. I misrepresent them out of context. It's the best. That's how you do. That's how you do the YouTube thing, right?
That's not going to help you in Hollywood, my brother. That's not going to help you when you get here.
But it will help you if you want to be a Democrat politician in DC. So.
There we go. True. Lucy Lemonbug, thank you for coming. J-Mac, hey there. How are you? Lucy Lucy's an attractive female. I'm just going to say that right now. I'll leave that there.
See, that's what I was saying.
Don't want to be too creepy about it. Don't want to be too creepy. Yeah, just say it wasn't you. Say it was me.
I do have an impersonator account. I left Twitter. I left Twitter like in 2000. I left Twitter like 5 or 6 years ago, right? I'm not on there, or I was booted from it, right? By Elon or pre-Elon's minions, right? And I was booted. But yeah, apparently someone was sitting there, 5 years ago, carefully screenshotting things in case someday they might be able to use it against this random dude with 300, followers on Twitter. And so they did. And afterwards I left. So Shinovsky showed me like a few months ago, hey dude, there's somebody impersonating you on Twitter. So there's somebody.
Oh, really?
There is a Twitter account that pretends to be me.
Good night, Shiwa.
I can't get back on Twitter. I can't quite stop it.
I hate to be a party pooper, but I got to dip, guys. Okay. Thank you so much for having me on. Katie, feel better.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm on for Sydney Sweeney night. We're gonna do a Sydney Sweeney marathon.
Oh, don't make me watch that movie again, please not.
I'm gonna watch that.
Before you go, I gotta ask.
Yeah.
Creature you think should be brought back? Just give us your favorite one. Creature you think should be brought back?
Oh man.
Oh, good question.
I'm chaotic. I would love to see a Velocipaster. I almost fucking said Velocipaster. God, see how much PTSD I'm having for that movie.
Velocipaster sounds like such a cool band name.
No, it's
Yeah.
a bad movie. Don't do it, Sin. Leon's gonna talk you into it. Don't do it.
No. Okay. I'll take your word for that one. No, Leon. Bad.
Yes.
We'll talk later.
All right.
Cindy,
I'm
we'll
gonna
talk
No,
see
we're
you
not.
next week. And Cameron, it's always been a pleasure as always. I'll see you guys later.
See you later.
Take care, Naughty.
Please, someone, please drop her link in the chat. So go
Please.
subscribe to Nadia Horth Nads. And you can find fun moments like when she's scares herself silly with her game live on camera. That's good times. And is 20 more from JMac. Dude, holy shit. That's
It's on roll.
that's
Damn.
wild. Thank you. That's
Awesome.
that's huge. Whew, okay, well, I gotta find something for that one. Thankfully, I got a lot of clips. You gotta give them a couple for sure. Let's do this one. To start.
Your favorite dish?
My favorite dish. I like mugs because they're very comfortable in your hand and they hold the hot things that you don't have to touch.
Hear that, Siniviere?
Yeah, that's I
handle some hot shit.
practice, so I'm giving her a pass. It's Demi Lovato.
I'm learning that I am really good at handling pipe.
Quite the pipe fitter.
Thank you, Soul Assassin, and thank you, Jacob Ironside, for leaving Nadia's. And also, Soul Assassin, thank you for finding and tracking out Jacob's GoFundMe, which is now the pinned comment. Appreciate that very, very much. That's awesome. And this is also for Jamie.
Photojournalist Brad Rice shows us how a forestry instructor gets his students to make and play the North American the flute in this Traveling West Virginia segment.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Oh my God, no.
Indeed. And one more.
When my son was teething, he used to like to take the big fat rubber end of my vibrating toothbrush and put it in his mouth and he'd just kind of sit there like, oh yeah, that feels good. That hit the spot. My gums are itchy. And he'd sit there with...
Oh my God.
This dude is like, am I crazy or is this really happening?
He makes the whole clip. His reaction is just like breaking the fourth wall. It's perfect. Thank you, JMac, and thank you, Crab Feeder. Wonderful stream as always. You know what? I need to thank you, Crab Feeder. Appreciate your support, Spree, and appreciate you hanging out with us all the time on everyone's channel. You've been a great member of the community, and I'm gonna make sure I don't cover up Cameron. Cover myself.
I'm used to it. You cover it's okay.
Nah, never. Not from me, Cameron. If I can avoid it, I never do that. You know what I need?
Uploading spread out.
No, I mean, look at what do you got? Wonderful stream as always. You know what I needed. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
Crab
Indeed.
Feeder.
And play something for that. Magic again. Let's do the magic. Can you believe he did that? That's amazing.
I was more enamored with his hair. I bet Copa looks at that dude and is like, fuck, I want to be him. Like,
Oh my goodness. No, I think Mad could take like a few lessons from that dude.
Shots fired at Copa. Yes, Mad could. I don't know what that magic thing he tried on Saturday. I don't know what was he doing.
He was being silly, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I sent him another one that had used that fake finger trick, and I was like, I sent it to him, and I thought of this joke late, but we could have made like an ABF joke.
Oh, what's the joke?
No, because he had that fake finger on,
Oh, right. Yes, he could have.
and it was miscolored.
That would have worked.
God.
That would have worked.
Gross.
Preaching in front, magic in the back. Yeah, Crab Fear. That's exactly what that is. Jamalama, what's up? J Mac, you keep missing me. Try again. For common people. Thank you,
That's
common people.
so funny.
We must now see more of this, Direwolf.
Thanks, Trent.
At
I
1
know,
month, the
those
pups enter a pivotal
Tobies.
stage of development. The transitional phase. Here they begin to growl, chew, and take the first steps into the world beyond the den.
That's such metal music. Heck yeah.
Yeah, Direwolves are metal.
Very.
Can I get some Tims in the chat, please, from the members? Please give me some Tims in the chat. Appreciate that.
But growing up is no small task, and these little ones have certainly earned their rest.
Oh no!
3 months in,
Look at those little puffballs, huh?
They're so big.
Their coat is so different. It looks so different from like standard dogs.
They're fluffy.
Look how big those paws are.
And they're pups. When they're big, they'll be able to kill people.
I mean, it's been my experience that like 90% of people are a waste, but 90% of animals are fucking awesome. So I'm not sweating on the whole killing people aspect. And guess if you're a religious folk like me, it just means you get to meet your maker sooner. Win-win.
I 100% agree with Leon for once.
We did it. We did it. We finally got someone to agree with Leon. This is for the chat and for Rossi and for common people.
Like Zach's is he doesn't treat me nice. Zach's, you're not a good podcaster. You don't know to conduct interviews at all. You're a 45-year-old man, and I pray for your family.
What?
That's Tim. He's my detractor. And,
Who
and I
was
love
this
him for
detractor?
it.
Was he somebody that said this on another video, or was he on your channel and said this?
He was on. That was his own channel. That was his own video.
I've got some crazy detractors. Like, you know, I'm sure some people will do it. If you Google me now, the first thing that comes up when you Google me is a video by somebody who's mentally ill, who basically made like a 30-minute video about how I'm a complete fraud. And
really,
that's it. And it has like 20,000 views, so it's doing very well. You know, what can you do? It's just like when you put yourself out there, weirdos, you know, live off of you. That's all you can do. You just have to deal with it.
You're very photogenic, Cameron.
I'll take that as a compliment from a lovely lady. I'll take it.
Oh,
yes.
It was a compliment. Lovely photos.
So
I will take it. But you Googled me, and you'll probably also see that please don't click it. Don't give him the click, but you'll probably see.
Oh, no.
Big ship. Thank you for coming.
You saw it. It's there, right?
Yeah.
It's sad because it's I worked only 24 years in Hollywood to have the first thing that comes up in Google be some crazy person, doing only took 24
and you've
years.
created fantastic stuff and your own works.
I mean, and it is what it is, and people believe it. I actually, I was hanging out with somebody. We're getting together for coffee, and they're like, "Dude, I don't know. I just read this. I saw this video about you." I was like, "If anyone believes this kind of stuff, we shouldn't be hanging out." This kind of stuff actually proves who your friends are. Because if anyone buys into, if anyone can't judge your character versus how the social media world represents you or presents you, then they're not your friends. I mean, your moral character should be evident in your personal relationships, I think.
Green.
Krovac says, a horse. I need a horse. You only sell dogs and cats here. And give me one of those large enough to ride.
Yes.
Yeah, socialization. So Katie and Andy, would you guys, if you could, own a dire wolf?
I mean, yeah, dog, they're cool as shit.
Yeah.
There's a guy at our dog park has.
It's a wolf, not a dog. Just saying.
Yeah. Well, like those wolf hybrids where it's like half wolf, half husky or German shepherd, and they're pretty badass. He also has like a coyote hybrid, which is pretty dope too. Yeah, dude.
Sign me up, but I want him as a puppy.
Yeah, you gotta have him as a puppy.
Yeah.
You try and rescue that thing, it will eat you.
It will eat you. Yeah. Coyotes
You can name him Padfoot.
What?
Foot. Harry Potter.
Harry Potter reference.
Oh.
Katie's never read Harry Potter.
I've never read Harry Potter, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, I gotcha. Oh.
So I apologize.
She's never read
Oh,
Harry
not
Potter.
at all.
Romulus. It's all good. Appreciate that, Katie.
Oh gosh.
I'm glad you're not reading because reading is not good. Like most people need to stop reading. It's not. Just watch
Andrew Tate
videos.
told me that reading is gay, and I don't want to be gay anymore, so I stopped reading.
I'm telling you. Thank you.
I think it made you more gay.
I love cats. I know you love cats, Kitty. No ocelot.
Dude, ocelots are awesome.
What is an ocelot?
Big cat.
Oh, really?
Wow. It's more than that.
I mean,
it's not that big.
Ocelot is that fucking gunslinger that killed you like 37 fucking times in Metal Gear on your
Hey,
stream a little
hey,
bit.
I still beat him.
I think that like people go wrong is they adopt things like a chimp which eats your face. Like that's a much bigger concern than a wolf, which probably just wants to be left alone.
They want to play.
This is an ocelot. There you go.
Oh, it's so cute.
Your wish is my command.
Thank you, Zaxi. You're such a sweetie.
I have heard that actually it's true that cheetahs are like more dog-like in terms of cats, and less prickish, possibly. I don't know if that's true.
Before we go further, share my screen if you'd be so kind.
Oh, yes.
I wouldn't get a dire wolf because they're not a bird, but I would get one of these motherfuckers if they brought them back. And this is what I would ride into battle.
Come on, let me click on that. Come on, click.
Pterodactyl.
No, but you're close. It's called a terror bird.
Is it really?
Hold on, let's try this now.
Yeah, it's ancient.
There, finally.
Look at that motherfucker. Like, oh yeah, he not gonna sit on my shoulder. I'm gonna sit on his. Sorry, Hondo.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you need to learn from the Australians. You'll lose that fight.
Through the Great
Australians
Eagle
are
War.
pussies.
Well, I mean, the platypus didn't lose that. The platypus lost that fight, right? We don't have the platypus anymore, right? Because it kind of lost that one.
We don't?
Platypus went extinct 100 years ago. Yeah. Yeah, went extinct 100 years ago. It's just, yeah.
Platypus. Did you mean a plesiosaur or something? Like a platypus?
No, the platypus. The platypus was this very unusual duck-billed creature that from Eastern Australia. And my understanding is that it is, I'm looking now at things because I always understood it to be extinct. Let's see.
Yeah, they have a zoo right now. I've seen one.
Yeah, no, platypus
are so they've been resurrected? I always believe they're extinct.
The dodos are gone. The Tasmanian
No,
tiger.
that's what I meant. The dodo, not the platypus. What am I saying? Sorry, the dodo. Yes, it was the dodo.
Platypuses are out solving crimes and shit, dog.
Extinct. When did the dodo go extinct?
My
And the
kid
dodo
had
was a really cool-looking bird, man.
They're bringing them back. So these same people bring back the dodos, and they're going to work on the Tassie
Mauritius
tiger.
and Madagascar. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
What's the name of the Tassie tiger? The actual name? Someone will know. I'm making that up.
Well,
I think that was Ice Age, not Madagascar.
Holy
Are you just looking up random animals?
No, I looked at what J Max said. Sandcats are so cute. Oh my gosh.
Yes, they are. They're the deadliest cat on the world, I think, but because their like hunting average is really, really high, but they're so tiny.
They're so adorable.
If they're hunting hugs, I tell you what.
Look at this big Hondo, though.
Come on.
Sorry.
Persian sandcat. Is that a different kind of sandcat?
Yeah, it's a clawback. They're fighting for the shot.
No, look, I'm a cat lover. I got 2 cats, but you can see the evil in this motherfucker's eyes. Like he is looking at that camera like I can digest this.
Yeah,
it's
coming
so
at you.
precious.
All right, there's another extinct animal that was recently sighted called the thylacine. Have you guys heard of this? It's a Tasmania, so I guess that's
Yes, the thylacine. That's the Tasmanian tiger.
Because the last one died in like 1903. It basically looks like a wolf or a dog, but it's got tiger stripes. It's a really cool looking animal.
Oh wow!
And that went extinct in 1903. There was the last one was in a zoo, but now people are catching photos. Like random people on their cell phones are going through the jungle and they're catching photos of what looks like these animals like hiding out, like they survived and they're still breeding out there, which would be wonderful.
That's cool.
Yeah, that dude Forrest Gallant, who's been on like Joe Rogan, has like a whole thing talking about trying to get money to go put up more trail cams and stuff.
Yes, I followed some of his stuff, and yeah, that's really and it's,
wow,
that's what they look like.
That's scary.
But they had a bounty on them, which is why they went extinct in the first place. Is Australia put a bounty on them, and they hunted them into extinction almost. And then they finally had a couple in the zoos, and those died, and that was it. But there's been sightings all over the place.
I don't like
Tasmania.
this thing. Its stripes are not symmetrical with its body. I don't like it. This like give me a zebra over one of these any day. I know the zebras are gay because they don't like eat meat and shit, but at least they're symmetrical.
Dude, do you ever see the video of the last Tasmanian tiger in captivity? Just like they have a video of it. It's haunting.
I'll go find it right now. That's worth looking at for sure. Yeah. So the well, I'll find that, and in the meantime, look at direwolf puppies. What that? Come on, play.
The pups begin socialization, a key phase in their development. Weaning starts gradually, while play sharpens their instincts and strengthens their bonds.
So cute.
Nose is huge.
And with a mouthful of growing teeth, chewing is serious business. Antlers and sticks help keep their fangs fit and strengthen their bones.
So they have them hidden away on a 2,000-acre enclosure somewhere in the northern U.S. They're very wisely not saying where right now.
Yeah, because someone would try and break them out.
100%. Or like, just how much would a dire wolf be worth?
A lot.
There's only 3. So
are you saying that if they were to be broken out, the consequences would be dire? Sorry, buddy.
Yo, okay. Yes, they would be dire. They'd be dire. You almost made me choke. All right. Let's go more. I found this other scene, but let's finish this one.
At 5 months, a new instinct awakens. The pups begin to sense structure, challenge one another, and learn the rules of the pack.
The soundtrack rules.
Yeah, I'm digging the soundtrack to this. It's really elevating this video.
It's like somebody said, don't make it too nerdy. Be sure to make it like pretty cool. Like we don't need that nerd shit.
Yeah.
Before we're talking about these cool wolves we're making.
Well, yeah. Get some AC/DC style music.
This stage is marked by rapid growth and an emerging awareness of social hierarchy.
I do love the voiceover, but there's only 2 of them. So like the hierarchy would be fairly quick, I think. And they're twins also, but there's not that much pecking order to do.
Not yet.
Not yet.
God, they're beautiful.
Bro, these bitches is only 6 months old.
Tussles.
Yeah, they're babies.
Tackles, and toothy grins. Roughhousing may look like play, but it's serious practice for life in the pack.
Like, how much of that ancient prehistoric genetic code? Like, I get it. It's like 20 different species spliced together and whatnot. But the fact of the matter is, these are fucking dire wolves. Like, how much of that ancient... Joe Rogan has this bit, right? How he's got an indoor cat that's never once been outside. And yet when it sees a squirrel, it knows it fucking needs it. You bring it back that. Like, this shit existed when, like, what were they called? Fireflies or whatever the fucking wing things are, dragonflies were like 3 feet big, right? So this is
like what?
Dragonflies.
Like
I bet the killer instinct in these mofos is insane, and it's just all genetically there, just ripe for the fucking taking.
Yeah, and this is like, they existed like 80,000 years ago to 12,000 years ago. So it's like they had a good run too, and I think it was the end of the last ice age they died off, and part of that apparently is because they couldn't hybridize with other wolves. Like they couldn't mate and then create smaller wolves because I think a lot of the large prey had been gone. But these 2 specifically, one of the founders who raised Romulus went to see them like one last time, and he said that like he knew that was the last time he could get anywhere near them because only the one that he didn't raise even came close to him, and he got to kind of touch it, and then it was like it backed off and was gone. And he's like, okay, well, I should probably leave this area because they were treating him like he was possibly prey.
Yeah.
Damn.
And that was like so they knew, even though they raised them by hand, that like Leon was saying, those instincts are there and they're thousands of years old and they're going to take over.
However, we were able to turn, obviously not a dire wolf, so they went extinct, but like through evolution and adaptation and breeding. Like this also goes to show you how dominant humans are and why we are straight up number one, because we have chihuahuas now because of these motherfuckers and us like taming. Like we are so big and bad that now we have chihuahuas thanks to these dudes.
Have you ever seen the
Humans
videos
are
like
awesome.
of just like domestication of like wild dogs, and like within like 3 generations their ears are flopping down and stuff?
Well, yeah, and it's I also like, this is not the topic for tonight, but I also don't think we should eat dogs because I think that we owe them.
No.
I think I know the answer. By the way, no Googles or anything. You guys can see my hands aren't moving. I think I know the answer to J-Mac's question. J-Mac, is it the duck?
I thought duck first, but then I Googled it.
I think it's like the tortoise or something, isn't it?
Oh, is it not the duck? Well, if you Google
It
it,
is
you
not.
can't fucking answer.
Yeah, I'm not. I was honest.
I'm gonna guess the dolphin.
Nope.
No, dolphins have small wieners.
Because they're great,
Everybody
right?
knows that.
So I don't know.
And it wasn't the tortoise either.
Is tortoise top 5? You got ChatGPT pulling up a
Incorrect, Leon.
Damn.
No, wait, I actually do know this.
Millions of years. Your timeline is off, Leon.
Oh no, I know that there weren't actually giant dragonflies around the time of the dire wolves. I was just saying like things were bigger in the past is all I get. Like yes, those were around at the time of the dinosaurs, not dire wolves. I'm not retarded.
Good night, Crovax. Thanks for hanging out. Let's go. What else we got? Does anyone else answer this question? Not the duck. Okay. You Google it too. Is it Tim? Definitely not. No. Yes. You Google it. Any other guesses?
If it's not the duck, I mean, is it like whales are mammals? Is it? But whales are proportionate though. It's not.
Yeah, no, it was something
body.
weird. It was something that like because of the way their bodies are shaped, it had to be like super long. I can't remember what it was.
It's not Kata, is it?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like it is Kata because
Units
just
to
the reach
body
up.
ratio. It's
You can't say. Oh well, if you Googled it, you can't say.
no. Yeah, I know. I haven't Googled it. I'm sitting here trying to figure it out. I'm curious. I really hope it's my favorite animal, the anteater. It's probably not. 'cause I feel
It's
like
an
I know that.
invertebrate.
Yeah, I have now Googled it, and I'm going to be on a list, I think.
Wait, it's an invertebrate?
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice
Is it
choice.
the
It's an
octopus?
invertebrate. Does it count as an animal?
Yes.
It's an invertebrate. That's the J-Max hint.
Yeah, is it an octopus?
Nope.
Or squid? Because they're
Starfish.
tentacles between us?
Nope.
Starfish.
Oh, damn.
Okay, I don't know if that's where you're going with this one, Alchemy, but it is. I've read that if we were to bring back dinosaurs right now today, they would die immediately because of the oxygen nitrogen mix in our air is so different from what they had done that they couldn't breathe it. They couldn't breathe.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah,
fascinating.
Yeah, the Alchemy is correct. The mass amounts of oxygen in the atmosphere, it was like something like 70% more than what we currently have, which is what allowed for such giant size growth.
It's also warmer back then.
But I thought global warming was a problem.
Yeah, just false.
Sentient dildo fruit fly. That's a smart guess. Super change the correct answers. Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah,
Animals referenced often on SpongeBob. Is it a snail? Someone said snail in the chat. Is it really a snail?
Is it
Nope.
starfish?
Nope.
Closer.
Is it the worm? Was it the Alaskan worm thing? Whatever.
Oh, that sounds kinky.
Nope. It is not. I know what it is, so I can't say no.
Sea
Crab?
plankton? Krill?
I feel like
I don't know, I've never seen,
Yeah,
I've never seen
get
SpongeBob.
that.
That didn't help. I've never seen SpongeBob. I don't like
yeah.
SpongeBob.
Not the
So.
otter, is it? Or what? Sandy? Like, can't be right.
Sandy's a squirrel.
And she's got a spine.
A pirate.
Oh shit! You're right. You're right.
What animal is more penis?
Plankton.
than man?
Oh, good thinking.
That's what I said. Plankton, but no one confirmed.
Gem lemon nose.
Did you Google it, Jamalama?
Okay, hold on. Is the sea anemone actually an animal and not a plant? And it's confusing us.
I'm gonna play this video while you guys figure it out. How about that?
Is this sperm whale? Is this? That's a vertebrate too. Fuck. I don't know.
Oh, how cute!
That's so cool.
But wait, there's more. Meet Khaleesi, the first female direwolf brought back from extinction. She may be small now, but she's destined to stand as an equal among her brothers. A fierce
No, she's
force
not.
in the making. Their journey is only beginning. Subscribe now to witness the rise of the direwolves, step by primal step.
They're
How
run
cool
all
is
over
that?
her.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
And this is
That is
what
they're
Andy was
beautiful animals.
talking about the thylacine. This is the last one.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
brutal.
wow.
It's just like pacing around. It's like the last one.
Yeah, just and like there's no to die alone like that it's a weird thing to even think about.
The Tasmanian tiger, easily distinguished by his straight, unjointed tail, is also a dangerous opponent.
You got Leon there banging on the cage.
I
like,
literally
relax.
what the heck?
Ah,
I do play with the giant birds at the zoo. I'm gonna be real. I'm not even gonna front. I got a crow to speak last time I went to the zoo.
Really?
Yeah.
You're welcome, Kitty.
Yay,
I
fuck
appreciate
you.
that.
It said mine. I was like, I had a silver pocket watch. And I was like trying to play because the crows like silver and whatnot, and he was saying mine over and over.
Yeah, they're marsupials, correct? They're not dogs or cats. These are marsupials.
Wait, they came from Mars?
Yes.
Yeah.
They came from Mars.
From Super Mars.
Oh,
Is it a clam?
It's the barnacle, isn't it?
Yes.
I didn't know barnacle
is,
was an
the
animal. I thought a
barnacle.
barnacle was a plant.
you
I was
got
gonna say,
it.
yeah.
Common
It's-
people pulled it out.
It's a shell that you see at the bottom, like on the ships. Those are shells.
Oh, I too identify. I am but a shell of my former self.
Not to be gross, but what are they banging? Do they just like dip into other ones around them? Like how do what?
They have to have long ones so they can reach the other.
I mean, ships are like miles apart. That's crazy. You might get caught in one of them.
Oh man, the propellers are dangerous.
The tank. You must get tangled up too with your neighbor sometimes. That's
A lot of circumcised barnacles out there.
Touching tips.
Barnacle Bay. Yeah, now totally different meaning now, huh?
I didn't think of that.
Yeah. Blistering barnacles, barnacle boy. I know, right? What the barnacle? So yeah, let's not get depressed about the thylacine because yeah, last one.
Though, like the devil, is now very rare, being forced out of its natural habitat by the march of civilization.
It's
This
so weird
is the only
looking.
one in captivity in the world.
And I think Davina Duckworth had mentioned in the chat, like there are people who have spotted them. There's trail cams out there that have seen them, but they've never. I don't think they've ever found one that's dead as like a carcass of one or a live one yet. But they're believed to be like small mating pairs out there.
Yeah.
Unlike Katie and Andy, who are not a mating pair.
Nope.
Though I am very
Aren't these
small.
things Australian?
Huh?
Aren't these things Australian?
From Tasmania.
Tasmania, yeah, which is like Australia.
Yeah,
owns it, I believe.
Leon.
Yeah, I don't know where Tasmania is. I'm a fucking American. Like it's part of Australia, right? Or is it Africa?
It's right next to North Dakota.
Andy, is there a chance your family could have been attacked by these? If the answer
My
is yes,
family?
it's actually
No.
African. So
No.
Mm.
I'm asking, isn't like 70% of Australia nearly uninhabitable? So yeah, of course they would. There's a chance they'd still be around, and we're just not seeing carcasses or whatnot because people can't survive to find them.
So they're trying to mount like an expedition right before the wildfires, and they actually thought that the wildfires would help because like the area that they like see them in, there's like a natural like valley or some shit, and they thought it would like usher all these animals and wildlife
them.
down it, and they would hope to get some trail cams out there, but the dude forced Galant, said he couldn't get it done. So that's why I don't got no more pictures.
I guess it's expensive trail cams. I don't know.
Yeah, and apparently there's like a whole bunch of stuff you have to agree with like the government and stuff. You don't get to just like throw cameras out, I guess.
Fucking government always
Fucking
screws things up. And so if you look at they're talking a lot about the red wolf conservation too on their channel. So that's kind of one of their big pushes. So and they do want to bring back the thylacine, which I think would be the easiest thing probably to do because they've got like don't they have fully frozen bodies of them to pull from? I think they do. Yeah.
I don't know. Except what I know about Tasmanian tigers is the fucking PS2 game, Try the Tasmanian Tiger. So
how come we can't find the Tassie tiger, but we can see what's under the pyramid somehow?
Because the pyramid people want us to know Tasmanian tigers are peaceful people that want to be left alone.
Oh, that makes sense. Yes. What the barnacle?
the Wakandans of carnivores, if you will.
South of Victoria. Chippy is our resident Australian. So he could be lying. We don't know. Is Australia
also,
real?
He's typing this shit upside down. I don't really think it counts.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, that's the story of the dire wolf, and I, for one, am excited about it. There is people who are detracting it. There's people saying that it's playing God, and I just don't care about. They could be correct. It just personally for me, it does not matter to me. I'm excited about this.
I don't think they're correct. I can't imagine homie upstairs being like, "Oh shit, they brought back the direwolf. Jesus, second coming time." It's
right.
The logic don't track.
Read your Bible. God gave us dominion over the animals. So, bro, dominion, Jurassic Park dominion, light them up.
Light them up.
You'll love this. This is the CBC, which is our propaganda network here, and they're concerned about the ethics of bringing back these animals. Please notice I'm not subscribed to CBC, just so we know to clear.
Is that like the official government news station
of Canada? Yeah, we
okay.
Yeah, nobody watches it either, as you can see.
Remus, raised by humans and genetically modified to resemble.
Downvoted the fucking puppies.
They don't like dogs.
Downvote.
Wait, do we still have downvotes now? We don't have them in the U.S. We have them in Canada.
There's a Chrome extension you can get in the U.S. that shows them.
Yeah, and in Canada, right there.
Okay.
Ethical questions.
Dire wolves, creatures that haven't existed in more than 10,000 years.
We went from kind of the 73,000-year-old skull and the 13,000-year-old tooth to puppies in about 18 months.
Studying those ancient fossils,
which is a pretty cool thing to be able to do. Only from they only had two pieces of material to draw from, and they've never had they never found a full version. There's mammoths that have been found frozen that they can get DNA from much easier than these. They didn't have these are all from fossilized materials.
Colossal Biosciences edited the genes of modern gray wolves to birth 3 pups, an example of de-extinction using a marquee species.
Run to the litter. That one's yours, Snow.
Aww.
I would take it.
Me too.
Yes, inspired by scenes like this, though resurrecting extinct animals might bring another comparison.
This is some species that was obliterated by deforestation or the building of a dam. Dinosaurs had their shot.
What Colossal made is 99% gray wolf. It acknowledges that, but says this is to inspire and develop new tech to help conservation efforts.
There's human ingenuity out there that we can apply to helping protect species, to slow the rate of biodiversity loss and potentially reverse it.
Critics say.
How do you guys feel about that? If it's mostly gray wolf, does it matter?
Who cares? It's cool.
I mean, it's still cool, but I mean, when you say stuff like that, it seems just like another dog breed. We breed dogs all the time. It's less than bringing back an extinct animal,
When you watch Jurassic Park, isn't the lore, it's 70% mosquito, but we all acknowledge this shit's dinosaurs when we watch the movie.
Yeah, it's frog.
Yeah, they filled it in with frog DNA.
Right. Yeah, it's and what some small changes to the genes obviously can make a big difference. And
especially when you go to the mall and you look at the women, girl, tighten it up.
Oh my.
Leon.
Attaboy, Leon. I can always count on you.
The ethical challenges go beyond the care of these creatures to the door this kind of experiment opens.
It kind of feeds this belief that technology is going to save us from all of the mistakes we've made to mess up the planet. So, we shouldn't worry.
This guy sucks.
He's got a ponytail. You immediately know his scientific opinion's invalid.
Yep, absolutely. Ponytail, no good.
And
Worry about
that's why I
extinction
want
because we can always just go back and
Plus,
recreate.
London,
those
Ontario
animals.
sucks.
Conservation experts also say it may distract from what we do have on this planet.
We don't have direwolf, but we have tigers, we have lions, we have wolves themselves, we have these great predators.
That's the haircut of a man who knows science.
I feel like jokes aside, bringing these extinct species back gives us so much more a wealth of knowledge and shit to learn about that, yes, maybe this is 99% gray wolf, 1% direwolf, but if we can keep incrementally increasing that number, how much more can we learn about the ancient world that we weren't, either present for, or if we were, early hominids and didn't have the, capabilities of learning and understanding, purely for a quest of knowledge perspective, this is fucking cool.
Yeah.
Well said, Leon. I agree. I think that it gives people a reason to get excited about these other endangered species and maybe get invested in that. And if they can use this to help them, then that's great. And everyone right now is talking about this, and people who weren't now know about this because people like us are talking about it at a night when I would never have brought up an endangered species stream, even though it's a cool thing to do. Would never have thought to do it, but this has me excited about this whole idea. And Rogan, they had him on Rogan, and we know what that does. That boosts everything. So the ethical stuff, this doesn't take away from that in my mind.
Ranging this earth, which are in trouble and need our help.
For now, the company says Romulus and Remus will live on a secluded 2,000-acre property. And it says it's still moving ahead with the next goal, bringing back a woolly mammoth and a dodo. Or at least what looks like them. On from CBC News.
That's enough for me.
That's what you were saying, Cameron, about bringing back the dodo.
Dodo omelets? Are you kidding? Sign me the fuck up, bro.
Isn't
Leon's making sure that I have. He's trying to make sure that I have zero interest in his commentary in my script. He's just adding that, he's making it real. Add that there. So I'm like, thanks for your opinion, buddy. Thanks.
No, but for real,
You're
isn't the
doing
dodo
well.
bird in
Rock
the
Raven.
Flintstones? I feel
Isn't
like
the
that was
dodo bird what, Katie?
Isn't the dodo bird in the Flintstones? Wasn't that one of the
I
main
think it
bird
was in the Flintstones.
that he got his egg from?
They're big and plump and easy to eat, and they can't fly. So,
which is why they got caught easily. Yes, and that got when
so that's actually a common misconception. Dodo birds actually there's this misconception that they were really dumb birds and whatnot. And they were, hunted to extinction, which they were, but only by man. They were actually great at avoiding being prey of other animals that would try to naturally be their predators. Dodo birds weren't so retarded. Man was just evolving such a rapid rate that we were hunting and gathering, and so it was all because of us. Dodo birds weren't stupid.
Yeah, it's because when we arrived over there, we hadn't been in that area, and then we just started plucking on. I mean,
because we weren't part of the naturally evolved predator situation that they knew how to get around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Also, Katie, spell Flintstones for me, please.
Huh?
Spell Flintstones for me, please.
I'm not fucking with you, bro.
No. There's a reason I'm asking. This isn't for a joke.
The Flintstones?
Yeah, spell it.
FLINTSTONE.
You're part of the other universe. That's a Mandela effect. Flintstones versus Flintstones. There's people that don't remember
without
the
a T.
Yeah,
I remember the T.
See, I don't remember the T.
Flintstones
was one of my mother's favorite
Flintstones.
cartoons. I watched it daily growing up. I don't remember the T. Yeah, there's a Mandela effect of Flintstones versus Flintstones. Now, Flint makes more sense given the rock, sediment, things like that. But it's a common Mandela effect. So I was just curious from Katie remembered is all.
Huh.
So we discovered the dodo in 1600, and they were all gone by 1680.
Jeez.
That was quick.
During the Great Depression, didn't you guys wipe out was it the carrier or the passenger pigeon in a decade or some shit?
Yeah. That's one of it's hard to believe, but there were so many they would darken the sky, and you just use nets. You guys, well, we use nets and like caught all of them. And
so there's no carrier pigeons in the world anymore.
They're
what? I don't understand. How could that be?
They're not carrier
passenger
pigeons.
pigeon. It was passenger pigeon.
Oh, okay. Because people have been using pigeons for communication at least for 1,000 years. They were being used in the Middle East. The Caliphate was using it in the Middle East 1,000 years ago. So
There were 3 to 5 billion, like you were saying, up until like the early 1900s. Zax.
They were hunted to extinction. That's insane.
It was a depression. People were just like you said, nets. Just
and there were so many people thought like, well, I mean, they're going to be here forever. There's literally clouds of them, and we ate all of them.
Siniviere's Fish says ostrich burger isn't bad. Had at the state fair once. I've never had ostrich burger, but I have had ostrich jerky, and yeah, it's good.
We eat ostrich all the time in South Africa. You can get it like any bar. You can get an ostrich burger instead. It's like 98% lean beef. It's amazing.
Well, it wouldn't really be beef.
All right, well,
right?
I just checked ostrich.
It's red meat.
So ostrich is halal. I can have it if it's properly slaughtered. I just checked. Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
Halal ostrich.
I was saying it's like beef. It's red. You can't tell by looking at it usually that it's it's a red meat.
Oh, neat.
We my aunt and uncle, they're farmers and ranchers, and they had bisons and ostriches here. They were the first ostrich, some of the first ostrich ranchers. It was a terrible idea, and it almost cost them their farm. So people didn't want it.
Wow.
They got in way too early with it, and there was no market here for ostriches. So the bisons were not so bad, except the bisons were very difficult to manage. Like they're not like cows. They were assholes because they don't want to get eaten, right? Like they understand where the bison were coming from. But yeah, it was the ostriches were just nobody wanted them. So there is too early. If you guys had balls, they would clone 10 Dunkley. I don't know what that is. Dunkley, Leon.
Dunkleosteus? I'm guessing. Dunkleosteus is how I would say it.
With some of the ocean, that's some supervillain shit right there.
Now I'm gonna Google what the fuck is
I know.
Me too.
I know, yeah.
In the Jurassic World trailer, the huge creatures that jump out of them.
These motherfuckers!
Oh, dude.
Oh no.
Absolutely
no.
Coming to a lake near you. Can you imagine?
I gotta find this.
So can you show us?
This is
I'm thalassophobic. That's good. I'm good. No. No sea creatures.
I'm right there with Cindy. As somebody who's already afraid of water, this just it adds to it.
Wait, so
Holy
put it the big
shit.
screen. Put it the big screen. I don't see it. I have to Google it.
I'm getting it up right now. Getting it up.
It looks like the fish from Waterworld that he eats. That giant, mean-looking one.
Hardcore no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh, how
Just
big is
9
this?
meters.
Okay.
9 meters long.
9 meters.
Big enough that. Oh man, even if it was like a few inches long, that beak
like
on it
300
would
feet?
hurt you.
What do you guys think about the penis to bone size on this creature? What do you think?
That's a Leon question. I expected more from you.
No, you missed it, Cameron. It's a callback. It's a callback.
Okay. So I missed the payoff. I wasn't there for the setup. I missed the payoff. Okay.
No. It's the barnacle has the largest penis to body size ratio of any animal. We learned that earlier tonight. Thanks, J Mac. Yikes! Yeah,
This is straight up like for all y'all that grew up like playing the old Pokemon games on Game Boy. And there's always like you can choose one fossil and you get a revitalized. But like this is a fossil type Pokemon right here. That's what this is.
No. We can leave that one.
So this thing's like 300. This thing's like what 250 feet long. So it's like a sperm whale.
Well, 9 meters.
Oh well, then
9 meters. No. 9 times 3. 9 times 3 is 20.
It'd be 27 feet, right?
Okay, that's not 90 meters. It's
Even
90.
so, 27 feet with the face of a snapping turtle is terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's not a joke. Yeah.
There you go. There's an actual.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
How do you pronounce that? Dunkleosteus?
Yes.
That's how I said it. I don't know if I'm correct. J-Mac didn't let me know in the comments, but yeah, it's.
Yeah. Sperm whales are how long? 60 feet long. That's what she said. Last year's Shark Week did a segment. They measured great whites. I mean, we're right there, right? This is where we're at.
Okay.
Common people, 5 or 6'9" pounds, proper money. One step closer, bringing back the Nigersaurus and
Nigersaurus. Let's see if that's a real thing. Yes,
only
it is
one,
real.
and only one.
It's a real thing. It's a wacky looking thing. It's wacky looking.
It is. The moment I saw the super chat, I pulled up images and bro, this thing has got like Uma Thurman eyes.
Okay, I'm gonna get it. Let's
It's
go.
pretty wacky. It's a wacky thing.
Oh yeah.
I'm guessing it's herbivore because the eyes are on the side, so prey rather than predator.
It's got like a Anya Taylor-Joy kind of look to it.
That's awesome.
Oh my
gosh.
It's a derposaur.
It is a
It's pretty derpy. It looks like this thing can't. This little Tyrannosaurus is going to look at this like this is easy pickings.
He looks surprised, like, oh shit, I didn't expect that T-Rex there.
Looks kind of like a chameleon.
You mean a chameleon?
Chameleon. Yeah.
Clone these animals so I can eat them.
Ew. Yeah, not the dogs.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, not the dogs. We don't eat
So
dogs.
would a dinosaur be halal? So let's see. Not halal, but birds, fowl that are not predators would be halal. And we have, dinosaurs are seen as the evolutionary predecessor of birds, not of reptiles, right?
Correct. Yeah. Dinosaurs actually have more. I often frequently refer to Hondo as my little pet dinosaur.
Can I ask a silly question?
Yeah.
What's halal?
Halal is the Islamic equivalent of kosher. These are the dietary rules of Islam, which are very similar to kosher. For you don't eat pork, and and when you kill an animal, you have to kill it in exactly the same way the Jews do it, which is one strike to the neck, it's dead instantly and drain all the blood. And then, but there's specific rules of what you can and cannot eat. So, for example, a predator animal, like a wolf, like a dire wolf, you can't eat predators, right? However, you could eat a lamb, which is prey. And this plesiosaur, if it's considered a bird, like a fowl, like the dodo, I guess would be technically halal because it's a prey bird, right? It's not like a hawk or an eagle is predator bird. You can't eat that.
Now,
I could eat this.
Differentiate predator and prey. Do you have to apply it to humans or in the food chain in general?
Well, you don't eat humans, right? So I don't understand.
No. What I mean is, does the animal that's considered a predator?
No, it's as in animals that are predatory by nature. So bears, and you're not allowed to hunt. Like bear hunting is forbidden because just hunting animals for sport is forbidden. You can only hunt animals for food, and you cannot hunt animals, because you want a trophy. That's not permissible.
Well, thank you for explaining it.
Correct my Islamic, story.
How do you do it, Katie?
Oh my gosh, quit it.
Speaking of Katie, these Andy and Katie got to run. So Doolies, Hold My Little Shock. What do you guys do? Where can people find you? And why should they subscribe to you?
So you should definitely subscribe to our channel because we're a bunch of fun. We make jokes constantly. We are semi-informational. But...
second funniest Muslim I know.
Stop.
Cameron's the first.
Oh my gosh.
Dave Chappelle's the first, so it's okay.
Oh shit, he is Muslim.
Yeah, he is.
Third, Katie.
Did not know that.
You should definitely sub to the Doolies because Katie's got a great touch.
Yes.
No, I subbed, and it's a fun channel. I subbed after the first time I met you guys, and I really liked your channel, so I subbed.
Thank you.
I can say their family. Their channel is great. Like I love their channel. I watch their stuff all the time now, and they cover stuff that other people don't cover. They found the things like the Righteous Gemstones. They cover Severance. Well, we held each other on that journey down the Severance finale, and it's so fun to find people who cover that stuff because I watch weird shit too. And these guys cover weird shit, and it's not just the same stuff everyone else covers. And they're pretty based, and Andy's nice to look at.
And Zach, one of them is like just a fucking smoke show, like absolutely gorgeous. Like Andy, call me.
You got my number.
And in general,
don't play coy.
you don't agree. So like you'll get different points of view on our channel as well.
Yeah, Katie's
like,
wrong, and I'm here to balance it out with some good shit.
But whatever.
Katie is far more aggressive, and so
Yes.
all their thank you, Soul Assassin, for dropping the link, and they're also there. You can follow them on X, and all their links are in the description. So please go give them a follow. You guys are growing fast, and deservedly so. And you guys are all over the place. You're always on other people's panels, and so appreciate you guys coming on tonight.
Of course, we love
Thank
being
you.
here.
It's always a great time on your show. Thank you so much, guys. Great seeing you all again. Great seeing you again, Cam, Cindy, Leon. Love y'all all.
Yeah. And hopefully I'll see all of y'all tomorrow for Favorite Thursday.
Yes, Thursday is your
me
big,
and Cindy will be on with you guys tomorrow. So in case you didn't get enough of that tonight,
Yeah, and a bunch of other people. It'll be fun before we go to Vegas.
Yes, I'll see you guys there.
Yes. So
Later.
everyone have a good night. Thank you so much for having us on.
Thank you.
Bye. Good night.
Good night, Doolies. They're not a couple, you guys. So I think that tells me you got a chance with Andy. If you want to take a shot in Vegas, he's going to be there. What's happening in Vegas? We're going to, it's the Neurotic meetup on the 17th. We're going to, a bunch of us are going to be there, Leon included, myself, the Doolies. Nadia's already there. Vex is coming in. The Cannolis are going to be there. Roman of the Empire. Tons of people.
Gooch Badger.
Moxie.
Jury's out.
Okay. Possible Moxie. So that's just on the chance Moxie's going to be there. Should be enough. So guys, come hang out in Vegas. On people are kind
Atreus
of
and Kata, in case you care about the blacks.
Right. Atreus and Kata.
Atreus and Kata.
And I would love to see AJ there, but I don't think he's
I know, man. I had to specify because there's motherfuckers that clip shit.
All right, let's I think that I wanted to cover a little bit more, but I think we're good for tonight. I think it's been over 2 hours already. Let's
I'll move to JFK maybe.
Yeah, what do you yes, let's do that. JFK, the JFK files. Let's where do you want to start with that, Cameron?
Well, I mean, we can talk about the fact that these files were finally released, and it's interesting how a variety of people interpreted them differently because there's a lot of information out there. Information I think confirms what a lot of people had opinions about, but it is fascinating for me to see how people are walking away from there saying there's nothing new in there. I don't think that's true, and there's people walking away saying it points to this person, that person. What is interesting to me is that how much of my own research that suggested that Israel had a hand in it is now coming out in files that had never been released, and that the CIA had wanted those files specifically not released. Like any file relating to Mossad involvement in
that's
they begged for it not to be released. Everything else you could release, but not that. So that's interesting to me.
I agree and disagree, and first of all, factually speaking, the only shit that was redacted. Now, to be fair, I've not read through all of them. I have them downloaded. I've been parsing through them, but there's a fucking lot of them. So, but yes, to my knowledge so far, the only stuff that's redacted is anything that has to do with Israel. That's
even that's not fully redacted. There is a lot of information out.
Right. That's really strange. However, there were also a lot of other parties at play. You've got the mob in there. You've got the CIA in there. There's so many. It is literally a web of intelligence agencies and
they're kind of all tied together.
Agendas. Yeah.
Well, the interesting thing to me, because you mentioned the mob, for me, the beginning point of a conversation that no one in America has had until maybe recently is, if let's go with the presumption that Oswald was a patsy. Let's just go with that, okay? Because, that there was a conspiracy. Oswald was a patsy. Let's say he wasn't even one of the shooters, but he was set up to take the fall. Let's just go with that as a hypothetical statement. What was always interesting is that, the fact that this guy says, I'm a patsy on live television and gets blown away on live television, right? By this mysterious figure named Jack Ruby, right? Who then dies in prison, mysteriously as well. So, going to get to talk about it. But what was interesting is information that I always knew, which maybe people are beginning to notice. Well, who is Jack Ruby? Ruby is a pen name. His name was Rubenstein, and he was a Jewish mafioso connected to various different mafias in the United States, but he was also connected to the Israeli mafia and Mossad. He had visited, we now know from some of these releases, he had visited Israel just a few months before this. And we do know that Kennedy was very, very unhappy with Ben-Gurion's nuclear program and had told him that he was going to shut down that program. He wasn't going to let Middle East be nuclearized. He thought that as a great threat. And that was literally 1 month before Dallas. And so it is, to me, it is interesting that no one notices that Jack Rubenstein was the one sent to silence the patsy, because once you start looking at his connections, they don't necessarily connect to the Italian mafia. And so it is very, very interesting to me that people are finally beginning to at least notice that thread.
Well, I see people in the chat saying that Jack Ruby was CIA. I don't think that's correct. I think he was a CIA like informant or something. He had ties to them, but I don't think he was actually CIA.
Yeah, but everybody was. Yeah, I mean, everybody's a CIA informant around this. So yeah.
Well, I do think it's an important distinction to make, because there's a difference between, like, at least in my opinion, not that one's better than the other, but it's an important distinction. Like, hey, are you employed by the government and have a hand in killing the president, or are you like some shady contractor that the government's using as a liaison to kill the president? How many rings to Kevin Bacon there are, for whatever reason, I feel like matters.
Well, one thing is in this, and I'm sorry, I'm going to let other speakers talking a lot. I'll let Siniviere and others speak. I just want to make one point, which, it's okay for there to be lots of people involved with this, because Kennedy was a problem for a lot of people. Kennedy was a problem for the Cuban Americans. He was a problem for the Cubans itself. He was a problem for the Russians. He was a problem for American mafia. His brother was really aggressively, Robert Kennedy was really aggressively going after the mob, holding public hearings against them for the first time. And CIA didn't like this guy who was going to shut down Vietnam, because their plan was to turn Vietnam into the heroin production center for their illicit activities, which they did. And then later, similarly, they would use Afghanistan to be their poppy production center. That's what. So this guy was a problem for everybody. He was bad for everybody's business. He was bad for LBJ. He was bad for everybody. Maybe that made him a good president, but he was bad for the whole system. So it certainly makes sense that a lot of different people would be like, yeah, get rid of this guy. So the question becomes, who actually were the people on the knoll? I think it just comes down to the one person we know, which is Jack Rubenstein. We know this guy. This guy took out the patsy. So I think he's the key to finding the people that pulled the trigger.
And it's also important, because you're talking about finding the key. All the files weren't released. The fact that there's like thousands of pages, and that's still not everything.
70,000 pages. That's insane. And so, and Cameron, you're talking about apologizing for talking. No, you guys are the experts. I wanted you and Leon here for this. And Siniviere, I'm not sure how, I'm not well versed on this. I'm Canadian. Give me a break. I'm learning about
it. You guys did it. Ultimately, it's going to be you guys who did it. It's that one's going to come out.
It could have been us. It could have been us. Maybe it was
here's how you know it wasn't a Canadian that did it. They didn't immediately say sorry after shooting on the fucking face.
Too true.
We didn't apologize. No. But this, so the thing about the JFK files, the history of it was George Bush Sr., right, who first ordered the release and in 25 years of these documents. And then they were sort of partially released in 2017 is my understanding. And then Trump issued an order to release all of them. Is that kind of, am I wrong about that?
Well, he didn't issue an order to release all of them. What he did is one of the things he ran on with his campaign the first time in 2016 was that he would have them released. So he didn't issue the order, but he ran on the idea of having them released. And then when he got in the office, he reneged on it. And his exact quote, or at least if I'm paraphrasing, I'm only paraphrasing slightly, was, if you saw in those files, what I saw in those files, you would hold off on releasing them too.
Okay. And they're heavily.
That doesn't help.
Can I respond to that? Because the thing that comes out, because we had people like Ben Shapiro saying, who cares? Which will suggest to me you seem to care a lot if you come out and say, who cares? This was 15 years. I mean, you seem to not want that to come out, which is a warning sign, right? But the answer to who cares, is very much where you're pointing us to, Leon, which is that if it still matters who killed Kennedy so that you don't need to get it released, it's because the people that did it are still in charge.
No,
that's why it matters. Otherwise, it doesn't matter.
No. And to counter Ben dumbass fucking Shapiro, like I can't stand that motherfucker. It does not matter if it was an Israeli government, if it was the Italian mob, if it was the CIA. The fact of the matter is, even on the off chance, or I wouldn't say it's the off chance, but what like he would try and argue is the off chance that our own government did it. Like, yeah, that does matter, because if that shit was happening in, what was it, 62, 63? When was Kennedy shot? 62, right?
I think
63.
Maryland died in 62. Kennedy died a year later.
Okay, so if this happened in 63, and they went through, like Zach said, 70,000 pages of reports and shit just to file away as classified. They didn't even show the assassination footage until, I believe, 71. It was all word of mouth until finally, what's his name? The famous newscaster showed the footage like 11 years later on TV.
There's a Zapruder shot, which shows the back of his head blowing out and his head going like that. Right. It's really hard to do. The bullet's going like this, right? So yeah.
So if you're willing to say to your large Daily Wire audience, who cares? That goes to show that you don't actually give a fuck about the government corruption. You claim that you're wanting to suss out, unless it has to do with the Democrats. No, it should be.
Well, it's not just that. It's not just that, because I mean, think about it. Tacked on with the fact that over the last how many years, people are trying to like basically erase and change history. That's alarming. That's very alarming. How many statues have we had taken down because they didn't want the history to be talked about? This is stupid.
Well, I mean, that's exactly how you get history to repeat itself the way you want it to.
Yes.
You can't learn from it. Look, in my spiritual tradition, in the Quran, there's actually a verse there are several verses that talk about God orders humanity to travel the world and go to the ruins of the ancient peoples to learn from them, to learn their mistakes, how they are no longer great people. That's a spiritual requirement. So when you have things like the Taliban blowing up the Bamiyan Buddhas, I mean, that is so fundamentally un-Islamic, because the religion teaches learn from the past, otherwise you're going to repeat it, right? And that is the fundamental lesson here of why we've been doing erasing. We can't talk about the Confederacy. We can't talk about any of this stuff. Heck, we can't talk about anything before 5 years ago, right? The world didn't exist before 5 years ago. And so it's part of an effort to erase institutional memory so you can reprogram.
And this is what they released. Like, it's
barely anything.
It's so much has been.
It's not barely anything. There's no way 70,000 pages is barely anything. However, it was released in such a way that, I mean, this would take even the most autistic of individuals interested in this sort of thing like me, weeks, if not months, to comb through. Again, I've got literally every bit of this downloaded to my PC. I haven't gone through probably 10% of it yet, because it is just so insanely like. There's, for one, they released all this as static images. You can't just fucking F3 and type in Israel, or you can't just F3 and type in insert name here. You have to read through all these static images. They look like they've been photocopied upon photocopied over and over, so you've got terrible resolution. I mean, dude, some of these pages that I've read, I've had to reread 3 or 4 sentences or words or 3 or 4 times to try and figure it out, because the situation is grainy, the quality is terrible. I mean, the way StreamYard normally drops the quality for shit for the viewers at home and whatnot, because it's an internet-based thing. While it's probably doing that here, not enough to matter. Pull this shit up on your own personal PC at home. It looks pretty damn close to this.
Right. This is 70,000 pages of this to go through and find something that's useful, that you could tie together with something else, because it's not like it's not been categorized and organized. Like, it's 70,000 pages you have to then put together yourself.
So I'm going to put it in the chat here. We don't have to show it, but Shinatsky, who's my friend, sent me on my social media a DM with a YouTube video of a stabilized version of the Zapruder film that apparently gets us a closer look at what happened. I mean, it's pretty grotesque, but I think all of us have seen the Zapruder film. If you want to run it, maybe we can get a clearer sense of the angle of things. Warning: this is going to show a person being killed.
I mean, it's on YouTube and it's an educational resource, so I would think it would be fine. But
I mean, it's a Zapruder film. I mean, it's out there. If you don't know about it, you don't know about it. I mean, it's there. Yeah, I think we can watch this. It's just 30 seconds, 29 seconds.
Yeah.
We'll see what it shows.
Yeah. Oh, good night, Zed.
One quick. Okay. We're freezing? What's happening?
Freezing?
What? Why did it freeze? We jumped already. Well, let's go back because he's already been shot. He's been shot in the throat, as we can see at this. Let's just watch the whole thing. It's just a few seconds.
Yeah.
He got hit right before the sign.
Yeah. So he's now hit in the throat, and Jackie's noticed. And there.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So there. Jeez. So there the brain is blown out, but notice where the head goes. Let's keep going. The head goes back.
I've never seen
the
that.
head goes back. Yeah.
You've never seen this, Zach?
Not like this. Clear, no.
With this kind of stabilized.
I haven't seen it either.
It's very grainy. And so if you notice, so his head is blown out here and his head goes backwards. That won't happen if you're shot from behind from the book. Right. No. It just can't. You would go like this.
So is he shot from the side?
He was shot from the side. Yep.
He shot, then he shot again.
Oh, jeez.
Right?
He shot in the throat
first.
Shot. That could have been the book depository. He shot in the throat. That could have been from behind. He goes like this because he's been shot in the throat. And then he gets shot, I believe, here, and his head goes back.
Do we know that this is actual legitimate footage that hasn't been doctored?
No, this is a footage film. It's a footage film analyzed for 40 years.
I mean, like this specific version, though.
This version is doctored because it's been ran through stabilization and stuff like that. So
in that sense, it's been so you can see it, but it is. If you look at the JFK film with Oliver Stone, that's the scene, right? And you do see the head go backwards. That's the proof of it. It's as simple as that. You can't, from basic ballistics, human dynamics, your head moves forward in the direction of the bullet that's pulling it forward.
Oh, good night, ZBR. Thanks for coming, dude. Appreciate you hanging out. So this is all this documentation come out, and it seems it's from an outsider, I guess I could say, obvious that it could not have. Well, Jack Ruby, that whole part is kind of one of the most damning things, because the fact that you have the guy who's your patsy assassinated that next day, and they walked him out the way they did, and that's one of the documents that I did read that looks interesting, is that they talked about that how they were warned and the people were concerned there wasn't enough protection to move him, and they did it anyway. Similar to, I guess, Trump recently, right?
Yeah. Well, which leads to people again, the Trump thing. There are people that believe that was a setup, right? I don't know if that's true, but there are people that believe.
Here's the major difference between JFK and Trump. This is from someone who, I don't know if you shoot Cameron again. You're in California or whatnot. I love shooting. I'm a good shot. I'm actually hit my marksman class certification in the fucking police academy. I was the second best shot in the entire fucking 32 person class. Like I'm a good shot. The Kinney shot's was not actually a particularly difficult shot. Like, assuming that we go with the narrative of it being why am I blinking on his name?
Oswald.
Oswald. Thank you. Assuming that we go with the narrative of it being Oswald, that's not a particularly difficult shot. The Trump shot, on the other hand, damn near impossible. Damn, there is
really.
The odds of it not blowing his brains out and just grazing his ear are pretty low.
Exactly. Like, if you were going to stage a Trump assassination like that or whatnot, you would have done multiple body blows. And he would have been wearing a vest or something. There's no way it was staged, because that's just you're talking 100 yards away. He used bolt sights. There's the accounting for the wind. Like, if even the wind was slightly different that fucking day, his head would be gone. You can't account for wind days in advance when you're setting up an operation like this. So no, that's anyone that thinks that the Trump stuff was a setup are insane and don't know anything about shooting.
I was not at all saying that it was a setup and that it was fake.
No, I know you weren't.
I was suggesting there are people that are saying that. But yeah, we know with Kennedy, certainly the ballistics, even if the official narrative is really miraculous, this one bullet that just goes in all these different directions and then manages to end up on the stretcher without any damage on it. It's like a perfectly well-preserved bullet, right? That's not been physically damaged by hitting several people and going in extremely bizarre directions. So it's an improbable narrative at the very least. I don't believe it, but there are people that still tell me it's pretty straightforward. Oswald shot him. There's nothing. You guys are looking for something that's not there. I think that's a bit of a stretch.
But see, the mid-wit mentality you'd have to believe for that to be the case, because if it was a simple narrative, it was a straight through simple narrative, why would the documents been classified to begin with?
Sure.
There's no need to classify it if it's as simple as everyone fucking says it is. Lone gunman shot the president. That's happened in the past, by the way. Presidents have been assassinated by lone gunmen. What was was it Taft? I don't remember if it was Taft. The dude that the president shot.
It was Lincoln, right? I mean, so,
to be fair, now Lincoln's one of those that I don't know if that was a setup or not. It very well could have, because Lincoln, much like Kennedy, pissed people off on both sides. And to be fair, Lincoln was a shit president.
well, I mean, Lincoln was shot by one guy.
He was shot by one guy for sure. But whether it was a setup or not, so I mean, but there was this president that's I think it was blanking on which one it was. He was at a county fair or state fair, whatnot, doing a meet and greet. This is in the early 1900s, late 1800s, and a man walked up, just a cloth over his hand. He could have been hurt, sick, because gun violence was nothing back then. And when he gets to meet the president, pulls out a gun, guns him down. Which fucking one was that? I've got to look this up now. One sec.
CFH90, yes, I do need a cine emoji. Absolutely. That's got to be next. I got to get that.
That's so fun.
I got to get that right away. So that's an oversight on my part. I should have my own by now. But
McKinley, it was William McKinley, and he was assassinated by Leon Saglazaz.
Okay. What?
Yeah, and so, what I do actually think, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Real quick, let's say goodnight to J Mac.
J-Mac.
He's bouncing.
You guys have been, thank you, J Mac. You've been fucking amazing. You guys have been awesome, keeping me company while I work. Time to turn in. Take care, you crazy bastards. J Mac, dude, you've been incredible. Thank you so much for all your support tonight and hanging out and and teaching us about barnacles and their giant penises. You can never learn enough about barnacles. So
and just know, J Mac, that when you and I do eventually meet, my deck is better than your deck. Like when we go red v red,
He did call you out earlier.
Is it goblins, like he said?
Yeah, my red deck is goblins. Yeah, I don't know what his red deck is. My red deck is goblins, and it will fucking eviscerate him. My red deck is a monster.
You have to record it if you guys ever fight.
Oh, I would love to.
He's got to come to the meetup, to a meetup.
Well, see, that's the thing. Jay won't be coming to this meetup because I don't know. No, you posted publicly on Twitter. I can say it. Jay is in the process of making his own tabletop RPG, and they'll be doing a second meetup 2 weeks later in a different state for play testing at a convention. So
really,
so I would have loved. Yeah. He invited me to that, and I would have loved to have gone, but there's no way. I can't make Vegas, and I think Minnesota or Montana or something like that happen in the same month. It just isn't feasible because. Damn, I'd love to go to that and hang out with Jay and play some Magic and tabletop games and shit.
I've been playing tabletop RPG since I was 11 years old.
I actually recommended you to him for that reason. I believe it was him. No, it was Sevi I recommended you to. Never mind.
Yeah, I think it was Sevi. Yeah, I appreciate that too. But yeah, no, that's cool. I want to find out about that. That I need to look into that after the show. That's awesome. That's my shit.
So if you want to head back for a second to JFK, I actually want to bring it back, maybe tie it into this Maryland thing. So I was at this meeting of the Maryland Remembered Fan Club, which is, like I said, the biggest fan club in the world, and it's here in LA, and I'm a member of it. And so there, because it's here in LA, you get a lot of interesting people that come to it. And one of the speakers that spoke at this weekend meeting was one of the, I've worked with Oliver Stone in the past, and this is a gentleman who's a screenwriter who's worked with Oliver Stone on one of his documentaries on JFK. And apparently he was saying that he had a week before, so I guess 2 weeks ago, had spoken in front of Congress along with Oliver about the JFK files and what he knew. He was an interesting character. I don't know what we actually didn't talk much about JFK. We talked about the assassination, because his more was about to debunk all the JFK Maryland and RFK Maryland connections. So his whole talk was all about how the narrative, that's a popular narrative that many historians believe, that Marilyn Monroe had an affair with John F. Kennedy and then with Robert F. Kennedy. And then there are some that believe that she was killed to silence her because she was, at least according to many friends, she was claiming that she had an affair with these people, and that she had a lot of bedtime pillow talk with the President of the United States and the Attorney General, and that when they sort of used her and threw her away, she was going to reveal that in a press conference. And that's the narrative. And he said none of that is true. And he went through the what documentation you can have from, White House records of where JFK was and her, whatever is in her personal planner that we know of. And he claimed that she only met JFK twice in public and RFK only 3 times in public. And I'll have to be honest with you, because I've been researching Marilyn myself for the movie that Leon has read the script, and I think Zach has read it, right?
I have yeah.
And so because I've written a movie about young Marilyn when she's just Norma Jean, but it does culminate in the days before her death, right? It's mostly about her life before she's Marilyn Monroe, but it does jump forward at the end to her death, or at least the days thereof. And I did my own research, and I have come to the conclusion that yes, I think the narrative that the Kennedys were behind the assassination, or people trying to protect the Kennedys were behind it. Her murder, I believe, is true. I've come to that conclusion. So when I listen to this guy, his entire thing is, well, here's the documentation I found in the archives. I was like, and that they only met these number of times. I was like, dude, and that's our friend Jimmy Daugherty. We'll talk about him. That was her first husband. The movie's about them. This is when they were in Catalina Island as a happily married couple before. This is Norma Jean before she three years before she becomes a movie star, right? Or at least an actress, not a movie star. So this is, you don't know
by your script, to be fair, happily married is bit of a stretch. This is based on your script. Like,
I think they were. It was a stable marriage. It was a stable
for sure. But I was going to ask how much of that was true versus how much did you have to amp up for dramatization?
I will answer that. Let me just tie it into Marilyn. Let me tie it to JFK. So I just remained respectfully quiet because I don't believe his analysis, because his analysis is based on, okay, I found this, these are the official records of where JFK was on these days. Well, guess what? JFK was doing a lot of shady stuff with women on the side that wasn't put in the books, right? Same with RFK. If you're meeting with Marilyn Monroe and you're having an affair with her and you're doing some wacky stuff like threesomes, apparently they did that, at least that's what she told people, then you ain't going to be putting that in any kind of traceable White House diary of events that you're going to, right? And right after the event was over, in fact, maybe I'll send you pictures to actually put them up. One of the other interesting people that attended that event is this woman who bought Marilyn Monroe's car. She actually had it. She drove it up. And I have pictures of it. It's actually Marilyn's final car that she had in 61 that she owned when she died, right? And it's this beautiful Cadillac. It's beautiful. It's well preserved. And there's a lot of photos of her in it. And so I saw the original car. They brought it up to the meeting. So I saw it. And the owner of the car, the new owner who had come to the meeting, she told me afterwards, because she had purchased it from the people that purchased it from the chauffeur, and they had kept records. Marilyn's chauffeur kept the car after her death and then sold it, and she purchased from the people that he bought it from. And he had given like a written account that was part of the purpose of his time with Marilyn, linked to the car, the chauffeur, right? And I think his name was Rudy Zelensky. And in the account that he gave to the owners that he sold the car to, he said that that the car had a special phone line that was installed by the Kennedys so that the president could take private calls while he was with her, right? And that was removed upon her death. It's no longer there. It's no longer part of the car. But he said this is where the wiring ran in the roof. This isn't the actual chauffeur's account in his sales documentation of the provenance of this item, right? So you have to, in order to believe that JFK and RFK only met her a couple of times, because that's what's in their official date books, right, is to deny literally hundreds of people who saw them together, including people that were very, very loyal to her, like her chauffeur, whose job was to drive her and the Kennedys and keep his mouth shut, right? And he only kept his mouth shut until, he sold it in the 70s, long after he thought all this is going to be not matter. So I think that there is a delusion involved, even in some of the historians that are trying to disconnect Marilyn and JFK. It's literally discounting everyone who saw them and didn't keep it in a record, because that's so dangerous. You don't put that in a record so that the CIA comes after you. You just don't. I don't know. Other people talk. What do you think of that? I mean, we guys are dominating this. I don't think at a woman's perspective.
Well, I mean, you and I had this exact conversation last time we streamed together, and I don't disagree with literally anything you said. I have always, well, I mean, not always, but for the large swath of life, because much like you, I'm a very big Marilyn Monroe fan. Her death was 100% influenced by the Kennedys, and I actually also agree with you in that it probably wasn't supposed to be. It wasn't a hit job. It was a like you said. She woke up when she shouldn't have, and no other. I agree with type of both.
Yeah, I think she was drugged. I think she was drugged because there was a drug in the system that they couldn't explain. was
the ties of both Kennedy brothers to the to Marilyn Monroe, the amount of what she knew, the fact that she supposedly was opening her mouth. How much of that was to get back at JFK? How much of that was to get because of the influence of the drugs? Who's to say? But the point is, she had some loose lips in the latter part of her life. I've had that belief for years.
And anyone who denies that, I think, is part of the cover up or is just delusional, right? There are people that are invested in keeping a certain narrative going. And it's interesting. This is so that's the only photo that is known that exists. However, there are accounts that after the day after she died, the studio Fox was raided to take all other
even
photos.
In 1970, when did SNL debut? 73, right? Saturday Night Live debuted in 73.
Was it 73 or 76? It was like 77.
So, okay, let's say it was 76. At this point, it's so close, it doesn't matter. In one of the debut 2 seasons of SNL, this is how much of an open secret it was. You've got Dan Aykroyd playing Richard Nixon, making a joke. He's standing in front of a big picture of Kennedy. He's like, imagine JFK, a president, having sex with women in the White House. Like, who's the fucking woman you think he's talking about? It was an open secret even in 76. SNL did a fucking sketch about it.
Yeah. So I mean, it to me, it seems like this. Yeah. It with this gentleman, I think was I'm sure he believes it, but I also think it's sloppy thinking. Yes, if your job as a historian, you can only find these 3 date books from the White House that would explain where they could have met in public. Well, as we're seeing with 70,000 files being released, a lot of JFK stuff has not been released, right? So. But so I want to because we got Siniviere, a woman. I don't know if you have any thoughts. I don't know if you've been following JFK, his assassination, or the Maryland connection. If you had any information or just thoughts on it.
No, actually, I had only learned recently that Marilyn and what's his name? Yeah,
Kennedy.
we're like yeah. So like I didn't even know that they had hooked up until I don't know, not too long ago. Actually, this is all new to me. So it's quite fascinating.
Yeah. So
like I didn't even know she had a first husband.
Nobody
so
does.
to
To be fair, that's kind of the point of his script, is that he's sort of been written out of history, despite the fact that he's honestly a historical figure in and of himself because of what he did.
He was a major figure without her. He was the first SWAT team guy.
So yeah, he created the SWAT unit. Like Marilyn Monroe's first husband was the dude that created SWAT.
He was a badass.
Yeah, he was an absolute badass. He was
Holy
actually
crap!
Yeah,
That's so cool.
Yeah, and he saved people's lives. It wasn't just a theoretical. He saved a lot of people's lives. His SWAT team was the one that the people that he trained, that he selected for the first SWAT team, were the ones that actually were involved in the Symbionese Liberation Army incident, right? The whole Patty Hearst. They're the ones that rescued Patty Hearst, right? And so these were and James Garner, if you're familiar with the Rockford Files, that actor. This gentleman that you're seeing here, a police officer, James Doherty, he became a detective in the LAPD, and he uncovered a plot to kidnap, like mobsters were planning to kidnap James Garner and hold him for ransom, and he saved James Garner's life from the kidnapping, right? And so this guy was a sniper, the founder of the SWAT team. He rescued people, and he was dedicated to children. He did a lot of work with inner city underprivileged children. Right, that was his focus. He loved children. This guy, and he was a decent, loving man. So we all talk because the image, like the veneer we have of Marilyn, was a tragic figure, and the gay men in her life were scum. She was with Joe DiMaggio, who beat her, and then Arthur Miller, who psychologically abused her.
Bro, by the way, that's another good part of your script. That, like the Joe DiMaggio thing, like when he's watching the ball game and he's calling Norma Jean. He's like, "You gotta come see this. You gotta come see this." He's talking up Joe DiMaggio, and she's like, I don't fucking care about baseball. And like just knowing later on that she would go on to date and be abused by Joe DiMaggio, like how homie must have felt is like, that's again.
He was devastated. So just like what happened with him. So just to give you,
and she thought she could do better.
Well,
I mean, she was kind of led down a sort of a garden.
She was led down a bad path because she was an extremely beautiful woman. Even she had plastic surgery to become Marilyn Monroe. Her nose and her chin were reconstructed. But even normally, as you can see in the picture, this is a lovely girl. This is a photogenically lovely girl. And let's bring back some of the picture of them sitting at the table, because I think that's one of his best pictures. of him. There's others I've got. She has pictures that
Is
she
this
took
when they
from
lived
beach.
on the base together before he ships
Yeah,
out?
this is in Santa. This is in and that one, but there's not this one. This one's one of my favorite pictures. It was, this is only a few months before the divorce. He has no idea the divorce is coming, right? You can tell he's completely in love with her. You're looking at her, and she's just amazingly photogenic. By now, she's become a famous
This
model.
is also pre-plastic surgery, is it not? Because he didn't.
Correct. There was no plastic
He
surgery.
never
then,
saw
yeah.
her again after he shipped out. She didn't get the plastic surgery until after she.
Yeah, she had
after
plastic
shipped out.
surgery, and she also changed her voice. He had a couple of phone calls with her after their divorce. He never saw her again, but a couple of phone calls in which her voice was deep and that sort of sexy, sensual Marilyn Monroe voice. He's like, "Do you have a cold?" He's like, and he would call her Norma Jean because he didn't know Marilyn. He's like, "Norma, you have a cold?" She's like, "No, she had a very girly, high pitched voice naturally." As he explained. And he said the studio forced her to take voice lessons to create the Marilyn voice. It's not even her voice. She had to 24 hours a day had to use another voice to pretend to be somebody else. It's not even her voice, right? So her whole thing was
crazy.
It was so this guy. So the background was they were next door neighbors in Van Nuys. Living, he was a few years older than her. She was 16, he was 21. She was going to Van Nuys High School, and he'd already graduated, but he was like the talk of the high school. He was the big man on campus there. He was he was head of the football team. He was a class president. And also he was an actor. He was acting in the school plays, with a woman that would become very famous, Jane Russell, who would star with Marilyn Monroe, in Gentlemen Prefer Blondes 10 years later.
Blondes.
Yeah, Jane Russell was his first girlfriend. And when they were just high school actors and they would act together. And so he was the catch of the town because he was the most eligible bachelor, handsome guy. And he had a chance.
Also, real quick, Divine Duckworth says nice guys finish last. It's not even a case of nice guys finish last, so much so as it's a case of because he was both adamant about keeping her safe, but also very supportive of what she wanted to do. But with him being gone, he was shipped out, because of the military.
Yeah, he was sent away to World War II, which is what happened.
And he wasn't there to
and that's when the scumbags came. So what happened is they were next door neighbors. So, he was next door neighbors and she had a crush on him. Again, this is when you asked of the two primary accounts.
By the way, that's important. The marriage was arranged and yet still for the most part successful.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, because he seems doting from what you guys are telling me. So this is crazy.
So what happened? Is she's about, she has a crush on him, that we know, because the two major sources, there's a lot of sources, but the two most trustworthy sources for me, he wrote 2 biographies, which I have, and she had a half sister. She had an older sister. Her mother had another children. So her half sister wrote a biography in which she said this was because the official narrative is Marilyn never loved him. She just used this guy. She left him for better pastures. And the sister said, no, she was absolutely in love with him. She remained in love with him after the divorce and wouldn't date other people for years, right? That's what the sister claimed. But the sister's like, no, he was an incredible husband. He was really good. But so what happens is Marilyn, Norma Jean is living next door to him as the ward of the next door neighbors because her mother's in a mental hospital, right? Her father is unknown. And so the people are now moving away, leaving out of state. They're going, I think, Florida or some other state, Georgia. And they can't take Norma Jean with them out of state as a ward of the state, right? And so she's going to be sent back to this orphanage that she grew up in an orphanage. She finally had a real home. And now she's going to be sent back in the middle of high school to this orphanage. And she was going to commit suicide. She's going to be sent back to an orphanage at this age of her life, right? And so his mother, Jimmy's mother, said, do the honorable thing, marry her, give her a home. Because legally you could marry her at 16, even though she couldn't legally live by herself at 16. This is 1942, right? And so, so he proposed, she agreed. And she really did have a crush on him. He was the big man on campus. He was handsome. He was a really good-looking guy, and all the girls loved him. So she's like, this is a chance for her to finally have a home and stability and a guy who treats her well. And they were together 4 years. 2 years they were living together, and they were happy by all accounts, not just his accounts, not just his sister's accounts, but the people who knew them were like, this was a happy, loving couple. This girl finally had stability. This guy never hurt her. He never abused her. And he was protected, she was beautiful. So a lot of sleazebags were always around her, and he kept them away. And then he gets sent away to World War II in 1944. And then she is working in a munitions factory because That's what women were doing at the time. They were making.
Right.
She was working on propellers for drones. She was working on drones, like
Rosie
military
the Riveter.
drones. Riveter. She was Rosie the Riveter. And while she was there, Ronald Reagan who was the actor, was now running the Army's PR unit for the war. So Ronald Reagan sent a photographer to this factory in Van Nuys to take pictures of the girls to give like the troops, like, wow, look at the pretty girls that you're fighting for. And so this guy, he's going through, he's taking pictures, and he just captures this random, 19-year-old girl working the line, and she's so photogenic. He keeps taking more and more pictures. She's like, who the hell is she? And he submits these pictures to a modeling agent who's like, I think I can get you modeling work. And she's like, oh my God, she's like a simple working class girl working a factory. She's like, yeah, sure, I'd love to do that. And, she writes to Jimmy. She wrote him over 300 letters. She would write him multiple times a day while he was away overseas. And she wrote to Jimmy saying, hey, I'm getting these offers to be a model. And he was cool with it, right? He's like, I love you, baby. I support you. And he's kind of proud that he has this beautiful woman. So this is one of the most famous pictures that was taken of her in 1946. This was the family circle cover that made her nationally famous, right? And she's playing this lamb and whatever. So he's thinking now, but what's happening is now she's like spending all of her time with these photographers traveling the country, and these guys are macking on her. Like they want to sleep with her. And that's photographers want to sleep with models is not a new thing, right? And to make it worse, and Leon knows this from my script, to make it worse, so her modeling agent, Emmeline Snively, was running a prostitution ring. So she was offering the girls up to not just photographers, but to rich men for paid work, right? And so she wanted Norma Jean to get away from her husband, because the husband is a problem. Right, Norma Jean's loyal to her husband. She needs her on the prostitution ring at the modeling agency. So she starts putting in her head, you don't need this loser. You're going to become a movie star, baby. He's a nothing. You're already a famous model. Why are you staying with him? So she starts putting this in her ear. The photographers are all telling her that. The guy who took this photo, Andre Deans, who's in my script, he seduced her. Like he took her out on a 1-month trip around California, and Jimmy let her go. Jimmy so trusted her that he's like, she's not going to cheat on me. She's such a sweet girl. And she was very religious. She was a religious Christian Scientist. He's like, and that was probably stupid. I, as a husband, would probably say, no, baby, you can't spend a month with this sleazy guy traveling the country without me. I think that's what I don't think that's wrong for a partner to say.
No.
And so
not at all.
He trusted her completely. In 1946, everyone's like, babe, he's like, she'll never cheat on me. She's too good a person. That's not her character. And of course, this guy slept with her and says, like, baby, I can make you famous. Forget this husband. So while he's back away at war, all these people are telling her to divorce him. And she's like got all this fame and freedom now for the first time in her life. She's like making her own money that she just, without any warning whatsoever, she sends Jimmy divorce papers while he's stationed in Asia. He gets him on the boat and he wanted to kill himself because he had no warning. He thought they were going to have children when he got back. That was the plan. They were going to start having kids and have a normal family. And he was like, all the guys on the ship were like always like showing off the magazines, like, hey, this is Jimmy's wife. Isn't she hot? Right. Mm-hmm. And he just didn't see this coming. And he was completely devastated. He came back to the US at the end of his tour. He met with her and he spent one day with her trying to convince her not to do this. But what had happened is Fox had offered her in that time, because of these modeling pictures, Fox had offered her her first contract as a contract actress. But they put a stipulation. They first of all, they gave her the name Marilyn Monroe, but they thought Norma Jean Dougherty doesn't sound like a movie star. So they gave her that name, Marilyn Monroe. And then they said, but for you to sign this contract, you have to divorce your husband. Because two reasons. This was actually told by the Fox executives. They said, you have to divorce him. Two reasons. One, which is they said, if you get pregnant, we don't let our starlets get married. If you get pregnant, then all the money we've invested in you is wasted because you're going to quit the industry. That was the official reason. And then the private reason was, we need you on the casting couch. The producers want to sleep with you. A husband, especially his big strapping husband. He was a champion boxer in the Marines, right? This guy is going to kill them. Right? If they try macking on his wife, so they had to get rid of him. So
the Roy Rogers story,
and she's like, "I'm gonna go. I want
this." Is the Roy Rogers story in your script true, by the way, or is
that
it's
true?
Is that true? I laughed out loud reading that, like husband's reaction, because I'm looking at that, it's like, bro, I'd do the same fucking thing.
So one of the stories in my script is this is an account he himself gave. Roy Rogers before she's even a model, when they're just normal people living in Van Nuys.
He's doing a press tour or something, and they just go see him like the supermarket or what the fuck.
Yeah, they're like he's like buying. They're looking at a little market, and Roy Rogers just sees this pretty girl like buying clothes in the market.
And by today's standards, that sounds crazy, but no, the big celebrities used to do supermarket appearances because my fucking grandfather took my dad to go see Mickey Mantle at the supermarket. Like,
So Roy comes up to her and starts hitting on her because she's pretty. And Roy was actually a bit of a Mac daddy. He liked hitting on women. He was doing well with the ladies. And so and he's like, baby, I can make you the standard thing, baby, I can make you a star, right? And then Jimmy saw this and he comes in and he's like, Roy, this is my wife, right? Get away. Which I think again is a natural husband's reaction.
Right.
When an actor is hitting on their wife.
I pulled that shit on my ex-wife. Like I have no issue with guys buying her drinks at the bar, whatnot. That's less money we have to spend. Whatever you buy. But the moment I see something that looks like too uncouth, it's like, all right, nope, time to step in.
Because you have a right in a marriage to establish a limit, right? Interesting enough, people to this day, her fans, a lot of them, they hate Jimmy. They hate him. He never did anything to her. When she asked for the divorce, he gave it to her. He spent a day trying to change her mind. And he's like, all right, baby, if you don't want to be with me, I love you enough to let you go. He didn't fight it. Like Joe DiMaggio fought the divorce. She had to go to court. And, she had to go to court to get divorced. Joe DiMaggio wouldn't let her go. This guy's like, I love you. This Hollywood's going to kill you, but I can't stop you. And so he never stopped her. Didn't stop her from doing the modeling. Didn't stop her and he wouldn't stop her from this because he loved her too much. So he signed the divorce papers and then he gives her his car. He gave her his car. It's like, because she needed a car to go to her auditions. So he's like, and he gave her, that's how much he loved her. And fans hate him. They hate him because it's embarrassing to them that she left this guy. So he had to be his fault somehow. He must have been a domineering, sexist guy. That's the official narrative. I mean, I had that argument this weekend. People hate him. The fans don't want to deal with it. I was like, dude, he never hit her. He never abused her. He took care of her and he let her go. Why is he the bad guy? And they can't. And the thing is, well, he was a sleazy dude. He was 21. She was 16. I was like, my uncle and aunt were
different times. No,
yeah.
That's different times.
And what? And he wasn't. That's the thing, is he wasn't trying. He was like I said, he was a ladies' man. He had a lot of girlfriends, not just Jane Russell. But with her, he was completely respectful. They didn't have sex until marriage.
He dated
He's
Jane
like, I want
Russell.
to marry her and take care of her.
I think is that right? Jane Russell?
He dated Jane Russell before either one were famous. They went to the same high school.
Yeah, they were in high school together.
Oh, wow.
They remained close friends in the 90s. Just before he passed away, Jane Russell and Jimmy did a documentary together about Marilyn. And they were boyfriend girlfriend in the 40s or the 30s, right? And it's amazing to see them as old people telling their stories.
Good luck being his next girlfriend.
Well, that's the thing. He's right.
He did get married and had 2 or 3 kids.
Yeah, he married again.
And that's actually one of the criticisms of the script. And while it's a factual thing, since the script opens with him actually doting on his wife and kids, only to go into him pining over Marilyn, it in my opinion, it actually kind of diminishes him. I'm curious as to why you did that, because
because first of all, it's true. He was so hurt by Norma Jean's divorce. He was so devastated by it. Again, this is his own books, right? And I believe him. I've seen interviews. He did a lot of interviews later in life where he was clearly devastated and never got over it. But he was hurt. And when she let him go, she became pretty ruthless. She went from being this sweet, sweet, angelic girl that he knew to basically dumping him like he was a used tampon. And she was pretty cruel about it. She was very cruel about it. And it hurt him, and his self-esteem was destroyed. So what's the first thing you do? What happens is he basically rebounded. He met another girl. I'll tell you the exact incident. It's not in my script, but it's a really painful incident. He wrote about it. And he gave a 1953 interview that I have to Photoplay magazine where he talks about their relationship in 53, right? And this is an incident that's really painful. It's like after he divorced her, a few months later, he came by her house, their house that he'd given to her, right? He came by their place, and he wanted, because his parents were having a New Year's party, and he had given her their gramophone, their record, right? And
right.
So these are poor working class people. So he didn't have another gramophone. So it's like, can I borrow the gramophone for the party because my parents want to play music at their party? And she was taking music lessons at the studio, like singing lessons, right? And so she refused. She's like, no, this is, I'm not giving it to you. I need this for my music, my singing lessons. And he's like, this is the sweet girl. It's like that utterly selfish. She won't let me have the gramophone for one night. And he was so angry and humiliated. He's like, I'm like chasing this because he said I was in love with her. I couldn't let her go. And then when she did this, like when she just contemptuously wouldn't even give me my gramophone for a night, she's like, she sees me because now she's got the big, I'm a movie star. And so he went home and he was so angry with her that at that party, he would meet the woman that he would then immediately propose to, Pat. Because it's rebound. I think a woman, people rebound. So he rebounded. Sure, I'm not a loser.
I agree with that. The reason is because I was trying to, again, as a divorced man myself, I was trying to put myself in that, the shoes, the headspace, the whole nine. And I was like, well, okay, we're in the opening scenes of the film, or the potential film, opening part of the script, and you've already been introduced to his wife and kids, which he treats very well. His new wife and kids, which he treats very well. He clearly loves the whole nine. Then you go to the police station, and he's hunkering down in his office and he's looking at these old photos. And I'm like, I have photos of my ex-wife still hanging up, but the difference is like we were parents together, so our kid is in them. So like in my mind, I'm like, if it weren't, it takes you a long time to get over shit like that. I was like, if it weren't for the fact these were shared memories that also involved a child, I bet I'd bring these photos, I'd take these photos down. But I don't know. So it's more one of those like.
So I can answer that. So Marilyn wrote him over 300 letters when he burned all of them so his wife wouldn't be upset because his wife was incredibly jealous. So his wife knew that he'd been married to this girl that was acting. And then 6 years later, like Norma Jean did not become famous for another 6 years. She was just a struggling actress until 1952 when she became famous overnight after 6 years of struggling. And she started dating DiMaggio. She went from being an unknown actress to being a movie star after 6 years. So suddenly she's famous, and the second wife is incredibly jealous that you are with Marilyn Monroe. So to respect for his wife, he burned all the letters. I mean, that's a loss of, imagine 300 love letters. A couple of them survived because of the people had them.
Again, the script's a good script. And again, I enjoyed it. I loved it. I've got very few things to ask about / critique or whatnot. But I am going to.
But that was the truth. I mean, he never got over her. That's the truth.
Transparency. It almost seems like opening with a scene of him burning those would actually add that much more. Plus, not make him look almost like he settled for the second wife or whatnot. Like that's a piece of information that's not in your script, or at least if it was, I missed it.
No, it's not there. I mean, look, I made the choices. The pivotal thing is that it is true he was a dedicated family man. He was a good husband and a good father, which Norma Jean no longer had. And his wife wasn't wrong. She knew she was a rebound. She knew that he still loved Norma Jean, and he never got over her. And so actually they were divorced 10 years after Marilyn died. In 1972, they got divorced. And then Jim marries a third time 2 years later to a woman who's a huge Marilyn Monroe fan, Rita. And Rita was actually, because his second wife, Pat, did not allow Jim to go see Marilyn's movies. He never saw any of her movies. He said, so out of respect for his wife, he would never go see her movies. So he saw all of Marilyn's movies in the 70s with his third wife on VCR.
Oh, wow.
Because she's like, I love the fact that you were married to Marilyn, and she supported him. So he started publicly talking about her for the first time after that.
So the other I think this is the only two things that like really struck me was there's two scenes. There's the well, I have a third that's a question because I don't understand script writing. I understand movies and when I
we got the first one. You weren't sure about the opening of him and his wife,
right?
Okay.
So I'll bring up the second that's you probably explained script wise. It seems like the scenes change incredibly rapidly, but I don't know if that would be different in terms of when it's shot and filmed. It was like,
well, I mean, there's a pacing in film, but they are meant to. It's a flashback structure. You go back and forth in time.
Right. I figured. Yeah, I understand the structure and whatnot, but I just didn't know. I was trying to parse through. Like, okay, if I'm watching this as a film, how long are these scenes? Because again, it's not a bad thing whatsoever. It's just
it's about the size of the script, right? A page is 1 minute.
Okay. There's a scene where she says, you don't know the other me. And
yeah,
that's
historical.
Yeah. So that's what I was going to ask, because you put in these like dream sequences and stuff like that of her in the, she's having these nightmares and she's being taken by the man, which of course is alluding to what would eventually happen to her. So like, man, those dream sequences are fucking great. But it feels like if you're that when she says the whole "you don't know the other me" stuff, is like we can get that from just the dream sequences. But if she actually said that, that's
she did talk, and he wrote about it because he actually, remember, he loved her so much. He understood her psychologically. He was a simple guy. He wasn't a psychiatrist, but he understood her, and he knew from her damage from her childhood that she was severely psychologically damaged. He wrote about that she was disassociated. He didn't have those words, but that's what he said. She would disassociate. She would basically be sitting there and just stop talking and stare out into space and become somebody else. Like her personality would change. Her face would change. Her personality would change. She would go from being incredibly sweet to incredibly obnoxious and arrogant and bitchy, and then flip back and almost like not remember what happened. So it's the first evidence that she was suffering from multiple personality disorder, that Marilyn Monroe was a second personality. He said that my wife was two women, and I would see her flip from Norma to this other woman. And
so I guess that becomes the final question of, because even if something, when you're doing these retellings of true stories and whatnot, even if something actually happened, is it best to sometimes omit the factual things and let the audience pick it up for themselves if you can get the information visually? Like the dream sequence stuff was some of my favorite stuff in the film, because it breaks away from the very real and puts in this more esoteric sort of mindset. So like, this is so great. It does feel diminished by her stating that, though. So even if that's something that did actually happen, is it almost better to let the audience?
I mean, it was my choice, right? Because I think he needed to, because we know he believed that. We know he believed she was two personalities. We know that, right? And he said that. So it's, I think the audience, part of the audience is that some people read my script. Some women that felt that it was unsympathetic towards her, and it's actually not. It's compassionate.
No, it's actually more sympathetic, because I know how much of a fan you are of Jimmy. It was actually far more sympathetic towards her than I thought it would be. I would like, not that it wouldn't matter one way or the other, but like when you and I had our talk 2 months-ish ago, whatever, when we were first time about this shit, I imagined based on the way you and I were having this conversation before, it's like, bro, this is gonna be a puff piece on Jimmy, and it's gonna fucking It's going to go hard on Maryland, but it doesn't.
He's flawed. He's not a perfect husband. Yeah. He's
definitely not a perfect husband.
He's at times insensitive. He's not abusive, but he's at times insensitive and jealous, like any normal man from 1942 would be, with an extremely
not just that, he's human still. I mean, you have all these amazing qualities that you've been listing off, and it's like, okay, here's the one negative, and it's, aside from the fact that he was far too trusting, it's like, damn.
I'll tell you an example of trust.
It read as very sympathetic to both characters, which again, which I think is a good thing. So if anyone gets you're not being sympathetic enough to Marilyn / Norma, I didn't fucking get that.
But I wanted to explain that there really were two personalities, and he saw that. He saw that his wife would switch from this very gentle, sweet, loving, nurturing young woman into this very selfish, cruel person, like that gramophone incident. It's not the person he knows, but she would flip him.
That reminds me.
That's what people later say, that Marilyn was very unlikable.
I have a script, because I know Zach wants to write the show. So final question I have about the script. All the orphanage stuff was really good. There's this one moment when she's being bullied, and
hey Jay, thanks, dude.
It's while that's probably true. It almost seemed like Stephen King, like cartoony-ish. To be fair, that may have been how it actually went down. So I was just curious if the bullying scene was.
She was bullied. She was bullied at the orphanage. The orphanage still stands, by the way. I've been there. It's still standing. It's right. It's literally 3 blocks from Paramount Pictures Studios. Her window of her room is still there, and she wrote. Later in an interview, she talked about how as a child she would stare out that window at the Paramount lot and the water tower. Mm-hmm. You can still see the line of sight. You can still see it, right? But she was abused very badly.
I guess that boils down to. I guess that just boils down to me being a viewer / reader, that we've seen so many poorly done, cartoonishly bully characters. Like any fucking Stephen King story, whether it be book or film adaptation, the bullies are cartoonishly bullyish. As someone that grew up being,
but again, these are orphans. I mean, these are children that have lost their parents and they're lonely, and they find somebody to pick on, right? And because she was weird, she refused to admit. Because first of all, she wasn't an orphan. She said, "I have a mother. I'm not an orphan." I mean, these people had, and the children resented that because they really had lost their parents. And she would be like, and she would paint pictures of Clark Gable in the orphanage and say, "That's my father," right? And the other girls kind of resented her for being a little crazy. So she had that. But the last thing I'll say, and I know you want to wrap this up, but
she's beautiful though. That's one of the problems too. Like,
she was stunningly beautiful, and she was.
Can I ask real quick?
Yes, please.
What was the script for?
So I've written the script. It's a screenplay called Goodbye, Norma Jean. I am a writer and director, and I wrote it to make this movie. And it is primarily about her life with Jimmy. And as Leon saw and Zach saw, there's a lot of information. I mean, 90% of what they read has to happen.
I've learned a lot. She doesn't even start to become Marilyn Monroe until, what would that be? Probably the last 30 minutes of the film. Like if you say each page is a minute. It's
I would say it's the last 30 minutes of the film is when she's offered the chance. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And so most of because there's so much that happened to her before that's been erased that you don't know about. She had a full life. She had a full life with Jimmy that was a real marriage that had a lot of drama, all this stuff that really happened that's been erased from history. And this is like here. This is in.
And mind you, this is the sort of film that This is the sort of film that I would 100% like. Tanya, the Tanya Harding biopic, the Rocket Man, which I know Rocket Man's a bit crazy and drug fuel and whatnot, but at the end of the day, that's a stylistic choice. But about Elton John, like these are the sorts of films that I fucking adore. I'm tired of cape shit. I'm tired of superheroes and whatnot. Now I'll be real. I could not stand Bohemian Rhapsody, but I was going to make a comparison to Bohemian Rhapsody. Well, not really a comparison, a contrast actually, because one of the biggest issues with Bohemian Rhapsody, in my opinion, is that it fucking deifies Freddie Mercury. And don't get me wrong, Freddie Mercury's a cool historical figure.
Yeah, but he's a human being.
Else has its flaws. Yeah. Exactly. I feel like the film didn't do a good job of showcasing that. And so I was reading this, and I'm like, oh, good. This isn't doing the Bohemian Rhapsody thing.
Yeah, and just I'm sorry, Siniviere, please.
No, I was going to say, is it? I don't know the medical stuff very well. So is it bipolar disorder or multiple personalities?
I mean, she had bipolar disorder. She was diagnosed as schizophrenic, like her mother was later in life. But I actually believe, just based on all the stuff that I've encountered, that she is suffering what we call it dissociative identity disorder. That's what it's called. It used to be called multiple personality disorder. I do believe that there were two people. I believe that Marilyn was another persona that would take over with its own personality and would essentially hijack her. Marilyn was her strength. It's the character that allowed her to survive because she was sexually molested and abused in her foster homes. She was very, very troubled child, and Marilyn was her sort of sword against the world that was confident and selfish and only took care of herself. But the gentle, loving humanitarian was Norma Jean. And the further she became Marilyn Monroe, Jimmy actually did this incredibly poignant interview in 1972 with, this is 10 years after she's dead. And I saw the interview where he was asked about it. He said he actually did this. He held up a rubber band. He said, Norma was a rubber band. He said, Norma was a rubber band. On one end was Norma, the girl I knew. And Marilyn Monroe was the other end of the rubber band. And he pulled it out. It's like, and Marilyn kept stretching her away from Norma until one day it just snapped and she died. Right. And he said the primary thing he said, they asked her, what do you mean Marilyn was pulling her away? He said, Norma was a religious girl. She was a devout Christian Scientist. She was very religious. She took it very seriously. She read the Bible every day. She read Mary Becker 80s books. She took them very seriously. And she remained a Christian Scientist for about 10 years. She later converted to Judaism to marry Arthur Miller. But Marilyn Monroe, however, was very anti-religion. So it's a part of the of the two personalities is Norma Jean was very religious. That's all accounts, right? She took religion very seriously. And so Norma Jean wouldn't have cheated on Jimmy. That's why he trusted her. Norma Jean wouldn't believe adultery was sinful. She wouldn't have done it, right? But Marilyn was like, I got to do what I got to do. This photographer's going to make me famous. Screw Jimmy, right? So Marilyn didn't believe in religion. So you have all these later accounts. Even when she converted to Judaism, she was essentially an atheist Jew like Miller was. And so we have a lot of accounts of her mocking religion and belief in God. That's shocking to go from Norma Jean, who's this profoundly religious girl, to Marilyn Monroe, who's anti-religion. And Jimmy saw that. He said, that's what killed her. Her value system that kept her sane was her faith. And when Marilyn took that away from her to be Hollywood cool, she lost whatever center she had. And he, part of it is he wouldn't accept that happened during the marriage. To his dying day, including his biographies, including in the interviews, he said she never cheated on him. And I don't believe that's true. I believe, I mean, the photographer she slept with long after said, yeah, and they were very proud of it. We banged her, right? And so I do believe she lied to him, and I think he just couldn't face it. I think he had to believe she wouldn't cheat on him. Otherwise, he would have killed himself.
Right.
He wouldn't have been able to face it.
And that's normal. Like that is something people do to protect themselves from that.
Yeah, he died.
Or he's saying that Norma wouldn't, but Marilyn would.
Yeah, I mean, if we take it to that level, I think, to the extent that I don't think he ever, I saw him say Norma would never do it. But again, he also said Norma and Marilyn, he did say Norma. I saw him in an interview on Sally Jesse Raphael, actually, with Jane Russell. And they did an interview, and Sally, asked, and he said, Norma was a very different person. Everyone loved Norma Jean. Everyone loved her. They thought she was the sweetest, most gentle, kindest girl they'd ever met, like an angel. And they said people hated Marilyn Monroe. And that's true. The more you read about Marilyn Monroe, was beloved by her fans, but she had no friends. She had no friends at all. Women didn't like her because she would come on to your man. Like any party, she would try to take your man from you. That was her psychological. She would steal your man. She would be the first person that would come up and try to take your man from you. Women hated her, right? And men banged her, but they didn't respect her. Right. And so that he said people didn't like Marilyn Monroe, and fans loved Marilyn Monroe, but fans, like, literally when I was at this fan thing, one guy, there's like, a lot of fans are weirdos. This sort of weirdo guy was like, I really hate the people say, he was like an old dude. He's like this old weird dude. He's like, I really hate the people say that Marilyn Monroe used the casting couch. What a lie. She would never do that. I was like, dude, she was the queen of the casting couch. Literally when he said that, I was just like, you're that delusional? I mean, she slept with thousands of people by her own admission, to get work. I mean, but literally the fans can't even face that, sort of like Jimmy can't face it.
That's
I think this is true. What Kitty is saying here, and also people in chat have been saying they want to see this film. They're excited about this because you're so excited about it. You're so passionate about it. This is something that you can't hold back. Do you feel like this is almost a crusade of sorts for you to get this story out there about him? Because you said you're fighting against people who already don't like him for whatever weird reason they don't, and that this story has never been told, and it may never be. You're trying to tell it now, but if not, who else? Like, this is kind of, is this your torch?
Yeah, this is my torch. There's a lot of reasons. I've been identified with her on many levels because I've had family members who are schizophrenic, and I've had, troubled childhood of my own, which we don't need to get into. So I identify with her suffering and her struggle. Why am I in Hollywood? I was escaping that. She was escaping that. And I also identify with Jimmy because Jimmy never got over Norma to the day, his dying day, he never got over her, right? He lived to 84. He died in 2005. That's all. I mean, he lived 2006, right? He lived a very long life. And so he never got over her. I have this one girl that I loved that was very similar to Norma Jean, and it didn't work out, and I've never gotten over it. I mean, that's just, I'm very honest about it. It's this thing that it's the torch that is there. I can't get rid of it. And so I sympathize with him. And also, if I've had, like, we've talked about the mystical that I've had, like a few psychics, like go to Hollywood psychics, and a couple of different psychics claim to communicate with Norma Jean, and amazingly they both said very similar things, and they claim it was interesting because they're claiming that, she inspired the script because no one ever knew her. They knew the character that she created. It's like Picasso is forgotten, but his paintings are remembered. She's like, she wants to be known because Marilyn was just a character she created, a role. It's like Charlie Chaplin is only known for the Little Tramp, but no one knows Charlie Chaplin. She's like, she wants a story told. And this is the last thing I'll say, which is freaky, because one of the psychics who I spoke with said, and had not read the script. She said, so there's a sequence in your script, which, Leon, you'll recognize. There is a sequence in your script, which is the movie culminates in, spoiler alert, where Marilyn imagines the life she could have had with Jimmy, right? That she imagines we live sort of a last temptation of Christ. We live an alternative life for a little bit of the film of the other life she could have had she remained with Jimmy and not gone down this path and become Marilyn Monroe. And the psychic was saying, well, she gave you the sequence of events of what could have happened if she'd been with Jimmy, and this is what the psyche said that's because that was the sequence of events went through her mind as she was being killed. As she realized she was going to die, she realized her whole life was wasted, and this is where that path took her. And and then as she's dying, she's like, I should have been with Jimmy. And so to escape the horror of being murdered, she created a fantasy world, like disassociated, created a fantasy life of herself living out a life with Jimmy, right? And that's where her last thoughts. And that really chilled me, because Leon, remember that in the scene, that really chilled me, because the woman describes scene by scene what Marilyn allegedly whispered to me in my sleep, because it's literally scene by scene what's in the script of what that life would have been like. It's really freaky.
That's what people are talking about in the chat. But I have one more question from the chat. It's come up a few times. Who would you want to play Marilyn? Who would you want to play James?
Oh, that's very easy. I already know the perfect people. It may not be them ultimately, but the perfect person for Marilyn Monroe right now is Sydney Sweeney. Aside from that, yes, Sydney Sweeney is beautiful and big breasts like Marilyn, but that's not just it, because Sydney Sweeney understands her. Marilyn is a working class girl who essentially used her beauty and her sexuality to advance herself and created a character of this buxom sex goddess to advance herself in Hollywood, which is exactly what Sydney Sweeney did. She's a working class girl from Spokane, Washington, who came here. She knew she was hot, and she's smart like Marilyn or like Norma.
Very smart.
And she created the persona of her character, and she's milked it to become not only a huge actress, but a successful producer, which Marilyn would try to be. And so she's perfect for it, because she's got the same working class grit and determination. Like, I'm going to be a movie star, and if I have to use my body to do that, I will, which is the same thing. And then the person for Jimmy is ironic, because it's the one that Sydney's fans are always shipping, would be her Glenn Powell, the one she started in the romantic comedy, because Glenn is tall, handsome, good-looking, masculine guy that Jimmy was.
And they have chemistry.
They have chemistry. Would that work for you? Would that work for you? What do you think?
Oh yeah, that would get Sydney Sweeney easily. This thing would take off. It should take off, but she's perfect. She's perfect for that.
And Soul Assassin is right, because just a few days ago, it's been announced that Sydney Sweeney has ended her engagement to an older man who was sort of like this protective figure. I don't know the dynamics of their relationship, but my instinct is that there was probably at least some element of Jimmy protecting Marilyn or Norma, and that this guy probably didn't like the direction that Sydney's going in, which is, showing off your boobs everywhere. And he probably didn't like that and thought, baby, you can be a real actress. You don't have to just be this. You're talented enough for that. And that's probably one of the dynamics that caused, and I'm sure Sydney, like Marilyn, is out there banging lots of people, I'm sure having fun, because she's a young, beautiful woman, right? Some of it might be to advance her career. And, and so it's a parallel situation.
She seems like she has more agency than Marilyn had. That's what I can see.
Yeah, because she has a solid family. Like, her father comes to her movies, which Marilyn did not have. And she's vicious, she's brutally ambitious like Marilyn was, but I don't think she's as emotionally unstable, and needy as Norma was.
Cameron, so I'm going to put up your Patreon here. So it's in the chat multiple times. So it is. I've been subscribed for years now to your Patreon. It's updated multiple times a day.
Worth it.
And it's like your writing assistants. If like this, Cameron has published novels. He's written movies. He's run shows. He's done everything there is to do in writing and storytelling. And he responds to everyone in his Patreon like right away. So and he gives amazing advice. And so you just help someone. Did you not get their project taken off?
I've had multiple people that because along with me reporting my interpretations of Hollywood and sometimes getting scoops like some of the stuff we talked about earlier, right? I also offer this screenwriting and novel consulting. So if you have got a book or if you got a screenplay, you want to be a filmmaker, multiple people that I've consulted with probably several dozen people now, at least several dozen, probably in the 30s at this point of how many people I've consulted just on the Patreon. And first of all, they all come back for more, which is a good sign. And secondly, several of them have gone on to become winners at film festivals from scripts that did not work. I help them fix those scripts. I mean, they have to do the writing, but I'll give them the notes, and they've gone off and they've now become successful, filmmakers that are getting a career now, right? And that's on my Patreon. People that had scripts that weren't working, they took a session with me, several sessions at times, and then they fixed those scripts, and now they're winning film festivals and they're getting the name out there. So it seems to be of value to people. So come join me. $5 a month. It's not bad for $5 a month.
it's nothing, and it's totally worth it. And you work in universities as well. Like you educated your attorney.
Yeah.
You've done it all. So
yeah,
go check out Cameron's Patreon. If you don't try it for a month, if you don't like it, then yell at me. But it's 100% worth it. It's the only one I've never quit. So honestly, it's the only one I've never quit. So definitely go check out Cameron. Leon, you are a rock star. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight and helping carry this conversation with JFK and Marilyn. I really appreciate that. And Leon, what's going on with you? When are you not streaming?
I don't actually know that I have a stream tomorrow for once. If I do, it's one I don't know about that someone will drop on me last minute. And,
Doolies.
I'm with the Doolies tomorrow. And then usually we do Gooch Show, but there is no Gooch Show tomorrow that I know of. And so, maybe I can actually get back to cracking a lacking on videos, because those took a pretty hard nosedive to the point where my channel growth has been non-existent. I went from, on average, getting damn near 1,000 subs a month to fucking 33. So I'm going to, after this show is over, make some videos. I made a couple today. In fact, if you want to check them out, I did a video on the god-awful, atrocious... guys, I want to say this, and this is not an exaggeration. I truly mean this. The Devil May Cry anime, it's not an anime, by the way. It's a French production. The Devil May Cry anime, to me, is the biggest IP-based slap in the face since The Last Jedi. I'm not joking. So if you want to hear my thoughts on both the show and the showrunner and how he destroyed one of the most beloved video game IPs that has already been adapted properly, so it's clearly not impossible. Check out the video I did on that today. Or if you're interested in my thoughts on how China potentially banning U.S. cultural exports, i.e. films, due to tariffs, you want to hear my thoughts on how that could actually be the savior of Hollywood, I did a video on that today as well earlier. So yes, check out those videos. Multiple streams coming up. We did a Tinfoil Haters episode on, right there, the location of Gilgamesh's tomb. Basically, we're just doing a lot of shit, and we're prepping for Vegas, baby. This will be the last week of full dedicated content, because when Vegas rolls around, I mean, we don't get me wrong, we can stream and shit, but we also gonna party. So we'll see how all that goes down. So yes, check out our videos, and I have another Devil May Cry video coming out tomorrow. So we'll just appreciate the sub and check out the videos, and just please help me. It's been rough the last couple months.
Help out our boy Leon. He's worth it. And Leon's a great show, and Countercast is sort of your flagship. And
you'll be on there next week, correct?
Yes, I'd love to be. If you got space, I'm on it. Yeah,
I do. I've always got space for you on that show.
Nice. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. And Siniviere, last but obviously far from least, you are like the Iron Woman of YouTube right now.
Yeah.
That's fun. I'm just trying really hard to stream and get my numbers up. My watch hours are doing fairly well, so I thank you all so much for all the help.
Well?
Yes.
So I don't think I'm subscribed to you. How do I subscribe to you?
You're right here.
Oh, you
put it in the private chat too, but it's in the chat, and she's in the description, and her ex is in the description too. Go on. Sorry,
I got it.
Let's see. Well, thank you for subscribing. You have been so fascinating, Cameron. You taught me a lot. Like I'm not really into, like, I don't follow a lot of stuff in the US. I gotta just kind of do my own thing. So learning about Maryland has been.
Where are you?
Oh, no. I just hate American culture. They've really turned me off to everything in like the last 10 years. So I'm a complete weeb right now, but I really want to see this film that you're doing. It's fascinating. You did a great job not only explaining it, but definitely getting everybody hooked into it. So hats off to you. I know this is my outro, but I wanted to thank you because damn, you're really cool. And you're so knowledgeable.
My email in the private chat. I would love for us to stay in contact, and so just drop me an email. And we got to come on your channel and talk about stuff sometime.
I would love that.
Cameron, without feeling guilty now, since I finally read the script, because I was like,
you have 3 months to do it. Yeah, okay. Yes. but finish your outro. That's enough about me. My ego. Okay. It's the only place I get ego anymore because Hollywood's broken my ego, but I still get something fed here. That's nice.
You got it.
Well, I just wanted to give my thanks because, oh my gosh, that was such a fascinating story and learning about all that. But guys, I am going to turn on a stream here in a little bit while Zaxi is giving his outro. So I don't know what I'm playing yet. Why don't we talk about it, guys? And maybe you guys can give me a recommendation.
People love BioShock. If you want to go back to BioShock, people love liking that. But
I would like to, but that's a Wednesday thing.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And now
So
it's Thursday.
yes. Not a Thursday, but I'm winging it, so I'm looking forward to it. And keep an eye out for my motivational short for all you cuties. I promised it Monday, but due to hurting my hand, it got pushed back. So I have it ready. And Leon definitely said he approved. It sounded good, he said. So keep an eye out.
I enjoyed it. I very much needed that motivational speech when you gave it to me. And let me tell you, you definitely you understood the assignment.
I try. I like to. Hey there, Tiger. You doing okay? Yeah, I can see you worked very hard. So, I want you to know I really appreciate how much effort you're putting into your work. I'm so proud of you. Just remember, please, to take care of yourself. And I want you to know I'm always going to be here for you if you ever need me. I'm always waiting, and I'm excited for you to come back. So take that rest, sweetheart. You've earned it.
I love that video.
Wait, is that your actual voice, or are you doing a Norma Jean thing where you're faking a sexy voice?
That's how I actually talk. It's if I slow down and deepen it a little bit, I can sound just like that. Yeah.
I am a sucker for this.
I really like making people feel good about themselves. That's my thing. So yes, I want to keep putting out more content like that and more gameplay and nerd culture stuff. So I'm happy you guys could join me for this. Thank you guys so much.
That's a link to that short. It's like I don't know everything I get. You give me goosebumps. I'm not trying to be a weirdo, but like seriously.
I'm really flattered. You don't know, Zax. I'm so happy you guys like it. I was terrified when I threw this out. I was convinced you guys would like laugh and be like, "This is so dumb." But no, I'm so happy that I've made.
I told you
people really enjoyed it.
Was dumb. Like when you posted it to me, I thought it was a dumb idea. Then you sent me the video. I was like, never mind, I was wrong. Like,
no.
So yeah, it's so nice to hear that people are liking it.
I can simp on this channel right now on Wednesday. It's okay. Saturday.
I'll give you a simp pass.
There you go. So what are you playing, Sunny? We're gonna hang out here until you're ready to go. So we're not going anywhere.
Okay. Yeah. I'm working on this, so I'm still kind of figuring this out. Give me a second. You carry on, cuties. I got you.
I'm playing this again. Take your time.
Hey there, Tiger. You doing okay? Yeah, I can see you worked very hard. So, I want you to know I really appreciate how much effort you're putting into your work. I'm so proud of you. Just remember, please, to take care of yourself. And I want you to know I'm always going to be here for you if you ever need me. I'm always waiting, and I'm excited for you to come back. So take that rest, sweetheart. You've earned it.
Yes, I don't care. Simp for Cindy. It's all good. It doesn't hurt my feelings at all. We got good to see you.
I'll treat you nicely.
Ooh. Canadian Spider-Man's in the chat. Good to see you, dude. There was a fun story going back years now with Canadian Spider-Man where he was streaming and he was camping and drinking and he fell asleep while he was streaming. And I had people messaging and somewhere in Canada, right? But I had people messaging me saying, "Can you go find Canadian Spider-Man and see if he's okay?" Like, as if Canada is not enormous, and that like there was any possibility I could find this guy just because his name has Canadian in it. That like there's,
but I feel like he needs to change his name from Canadian Spider-Man to Canadian Sammy Threepeat.
Yes.
So before Sinful Haters the other night, Sammy, he's like, "Yo, I'm 3 months into No Snore 2025." I was like, "Oh, did you get like a CPAP machine or something like that? She's like, no, I haven't fallen asleep on any streams. I'm taking it seriously now, and I don't want to let anyone down. I was like, I'm so proud of you.
I mean, Sammy, good job. We support our boy Sammy, and Cindy is get ready to go. I'm gonna get this loaded up, ready to go raid over to her. And if someone else, go over there right now, guys. Go find her link. Go start watching her channel and her stream, and I will get it set up to raid over there. Well, I'm talking about this, and yeah, go and support her as soon as we're done. I'm gonna send people there as long as I can. That's why I'm still talking here, because I want to make sure that it works properly and it's set up right to go hit Cine.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Anytime. Are you crazy? There we go.
I just have so much fun, and it's so nice knowing that everybody is too. So, you know, I'm so happy.
This is fun, and you make it fun. And I gotta find. Okay, I'm gonna have to find it. You're not Russian, so definitely not you.
Oh, weird. I saw it. I saw it go up.
Yeah.
Crazy thing is, you can actually type in Siniviere and see what happens.
I'm gonna steal her. I'm gonna I'll get the link directly to her. I'll drop it in. We'll get that to work. Inside baseball YouTube stuff you never get to see. Actually, no. Well, let me do that. And if someone could drop the link in the chat, that would be awesome for everyone else.
Oh, I gotcha. Hold on. Where's the chat? Yes, I got the chat. Wait, I don't have the chat. I forgot I closed it. Never mind. I sent it into the private chat.
Okay. There it is. Done. We're doing it.
Yeah.
We are doing it. Let's go. Go hang out with Cindy when we're done. You know the outro song is gonna be playing, but you guys can go now or later or whatever. It's gonna be well, everyone's favorite good night song. With respect to the trans people, I will be on Nadia's channel Friday talking about Stranger Things, and Saturday Night Circle of Jerks 10 o'clock, and wanting to look at doing a clam jam for that. If you know what that is, to help raise money for Jacob Ironside.
Oh, god damn it. Sitting on a clam jam is going to be a fucking trip.
It's going to be amazing. Are you crazy?
I mean, in a good way. Hey, look, I've never had a bad trip, and I've had a lot of trips.
And on your channel, hello, hopefully tomorrow night, at I think very late night, but I'm going to come hang out with her tomorrow night because she's now streaming Thursday nights for me, which is great. Like late Thursday nights, which is even better. So yeah, hang out with Kitty tomorrow night. I know I'll get that link out soon. And in the meantime, Leon's on Monday. I'm everywhere all the time. And I'm competing with
late
you
night
now.
Friday, early morning Saturday, depending on your time zone. So
let's fucking go. All right, everyone else. In the meantime, pay respects to the trans people and go hang out with Cindy. Good night.
Respect to the trans community. And fuck you, transphobes.
Trans people are my friends. Transphobes gon' catch these hands. Trans people are my friends. So respect them, but we're going in. Trans people are my friends. Transphobes gon' catch these hands. Trans people are my friends. So respect them, but we're going in. Transphobes, show your fucking mouth. I'll knock you out. I'll knock you out. Transphobes, show your fucking mouth. I'll knock you out. You better watch out. Trans people are my friends. Transphobes gon' catch these hands. Trans people are my friends. So respect them, but we're going in. Trans people are my friends. Transphobes gon' catch these hands. Trans people are my friends. So respect them, but we're going in. Trans people are my friends.